welcome in to the Beloit Trojan Stadium, home of the 2025 8-Man All-Star Game. Yes, football is on the docket for a June Saturday here in Kansas as the best 8-man players throughout the state gather here in Beloit, Kansas for one last chance to throw on the chin straps and the pads and duel it out on an 8-man field. Good morning and welcome in to our broadcast across the 8-man All-Star Radio Network back in KNDY FM 95.5 in Marysville, KREP 92.1 in Belleville, and KDNS 94.1 in Glen Elder. We welcome you all in this morning to our 8-man radio broadcast. Max Blasky here this morning for the 8-man Division II game to start off with, joined by Jesse Sternad of KR92 in Belleville. Jesse, it's been a few months since we've been able to see a lot of these players put on the chin straps and the pads, but we're looking forward to another exciting game here this morning.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day so far, and couldn't ask for better weather. A lot better, I believe it was 2 years ago, but it was 90-some degrees for the afternoon game, absolutely miserable. And that was pretty sure the year that the morning session took 3 hours, 3.5 hours. And, that was a late day. So hopefully, though, this can go just fine. And the mud that I know some teams struggled with, the rain, not going to affect us here today. But, yeah, Trojan Field looking as good as it possibly can here before they rip the grass off and get things going here for Beloit's stadium project, which has been an incredible undertaking.
It's going to be an incredible undertaking once they get done here in Beloit. We'll get into that, and I'm sure throughout the day, everything else that's gone on here this morning in Beloit. We're going to get ready to take our first 2-minute time out, though. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about the players here that you want to hear the most about. Then we'll hear from both head coaches, Max McInnes of D2 East and Trevor Powell of D2 West. We're going to take our first time out, though, of this morning. We'll be right back in 2 minutes. You're listening to the 8-Man All-Star Radio Network.
There's no better place to work, play, and relax than the great outdoors. Spend your day connected with Blue Valley Technologies Outdoor Wi-Fi. Join online meetings on the patio, stream your favorite playlist by the grill, or watch a movie under the stars. Enjoy an uninterrupted connection this summer without ever having to step indoors with Blue Valley Technologies Outdoor Wi-Fi. To learn more, visit bluevalley.net/outdoor.
Our small business services include inventory building loans, loans for major purchases of equipment, assistance with vehicle leasing, commercial real estate loans at competitive rates, loans for startups and lines of credit, to name a few of the quality services we can provide. Ask any local small business if we know our stuff. Citizen State Bank of Marysville, Waterville, and Hanover. Quality banking since 1907. Member FDIC.
Landall Company in Marysville is looking for a mechanic to maintain and repair the auto fleet, over-the-road trucks, and forklifts. Duties would include engine inspection, mechanical and electric component maintenance, routine maintenance work. Salary is based on experience and qualification, opportunities for advancement. A full benefit package is available and includes profit sharing, paid time off, paid holidays, comprehensive insurance, 401k, and more. Successful candidates must have good attendance, attention to detail, communication skills, and provide total customer satisfaction. To apply, visit landall.com. EEO Vets and Disability, welcome.
To keep your vehicle running good and looking good, all you need is M&R Auto Parts in Frankfort. Motor oil, air filters, spark plugs, batteries, brakes, and more. M&R also has what you need for the outside of the vehicle. Wheel cleaners, glass cleaners, washes, and waxes. That's M&R Auto Parts, your CarQuest Auto Parts dealer in Frankfort.
And welcome back to Trojan Field on a beautiful Saturday morning. Max Blasky again of KNDY FM 95.5 Marysville, joined with Jesse Sternad of KR92 out in Belleville. Jesse, we mentioned it a little bit before there moments ago. Some rain showers came through here this morning, but I think that's all going to stay away, and the field's looking pretty good, ready for the St-Man All-Star game.
Yeah, fingers crossed. I don't know what day it was. I was talking to Miles Rickard and Andy Cooper. 2.5 inches here in Beloit. Or if that was Thursday morning. No, that might have been.
I think it was the other day, wasn't it?
Well, I don't remember because I was I was on the morning show, and I got one report of rain down in Concordia. We've had 1.5 inches, and I looked out the window and, oh, well, that's nice. We're not getting anything here. So then I texted the boys about it, and, yeah, 2.5 inches, and they were talking about how some geniuses decided to leave their clothes outside and all their gear, and
oh boy,
that just made them smell even better. And then one kid decided it was a good idea to put his cleats in the dryer, and
we know how that one worked out.
Yeah,
have you ever done that before in your lifetime?
No, that thought never crossed my mind. My mom would have murdered me.
That's true. Yeah, these boys have been here since I think it was Sunday afternoon. They've been getting ready for this 8-man All-Star game. Of course, seniors throughout the state of Kansas, their last opportunity to put on the chin straps and the shoulder pads and fight it out one more time. We'll have the Division II game coming up first here, starting at 10 a.m., and then we'll have the Division I game coming up later this afternoon. 1:30 kickoff is supposed to be the time for that, so stay tuned to both of those games. As we start looking at both of these contests, we're going to look at some names that some of our listeners might recognize. We're going to start with the Candy Wyatt listening area. Quite a few names from the TBL that made this 8-man Division II game here this morning. Eli Brocksterman, Rylan Bussing, and Dalton Heinen, all of the state championship Eagles. Lane Loiza, Trent Harden, and Calder Olson of the Frankfort Wildcats, and then Landon Sump of the Blue Valley Rams. We'll get into all those stories here as this day goes along, but just real quickly, Jesse, obviously everyone knows about the power that the Axel Eagles have, 4 straight 8-man Division II state champions. When you look at Frankfort, they have been a team that has been right on the cusp the last couple years. You know, I often say maybe the second best team in 8-man Division II, just didn't get a chance to show it. And then Blue Valley down there and back in the playoffs for the first time since 2006, the last 2 years. So once again, I know you're not delved into the TVL like we are, but TVL's showing out here at this 8-man All-Star game as they seem to have done the last couple years.
Yeah, one of the big things looking here at this roster, and I know a couple of the coaches mentioned it throughout, and then comparing notes with Sawyer Dieters from Axel last year, just the speed that the TVL brings to this game. You've got, I think, 9 total players over 210 pounds, and I think 2 of those guys are at 210. So not very big. Because, again, 9 total players. Last year, Sawyer was telling me there were 6 guys on his team alone that were over 220.
Jeez, yeah.
So the big men here not going to be playing as big of a factor, at least I don't think. So as, we say with 8-man football, speed kills. And I know Axel's not showing off all of their speed here in this game, but
Brocksterman, Eli's pretty quick, and as it is, that is true.
But you have Frankfort.
We do have Frankfort, absolutely. Carter Olson, Lane Loiza, top 2 runners in the state of track the last couple of weeks. Speed will kill here in this 8-man Division II game. We're going to get ready to take our second break here of the morning. When we come back, we'll highlight some players from Osborne, Pike Valley, and a few other names that you might recognize as we get ready for the 8-man Division II All-Star game from Beloit coming up here at 10 o'clock. We're going to take another 2-minute break. We'll be right back. You're listening to the 8-man All-Star Radio Network.
For affordable housing, contact the Hanover Housing Authority in Hanover, Kansas. Proudly serving the Hanover community, Hanover Housing Authority offers 1- and 2-bedroom apartments for rent. The apartments are part of a property with a laundry facility, office, commons area, and maintenance shop. The apartments are clean, safe, and affordable and are located close to schools, businesses, and churches in the Hanover community. Hanover Housing Authority does not discriminate tenants. For more information, contact 785-337-2692.
If you have plumbing, electrical, heating, or air conditioning service needs, call on the team at Eagle HVAC and Plumbing. Tyler and the crew can handle any project from backups, lights out, or heating and air conditioning service. With quick, friendly service to Axtell and all surrounding communities on both new and existing construction. Eagle HVAC also stocks a full line of name brand appliances, and they offer excavation work as well. Turn to Eagle HVAC and Plumbing of Axtell. Find them on Facebook.
See Andy Bruna at Andy's Hardware and Lumber in Hanover for a full line of your everyday hardware needs and all the building supplies you'll need to get the job done right. Just about anything you might need around the farm or home is found at Andy's, and always fast, friendly service when you need it. It just makes good sense to shop at Andy's Hardware and Lumber in Hanover, Kansas, a proud Wildcat booster. That's Andy's Hardware and Lumber in Hanover.
Have an accident with your vehicle? Call Moonlight Restoration and they'll take care of you with a free estimate, and they'll turn it into the insurance company for you. You name it, they can do it. Fender benders, auto and tractor restoration, windshield repair or replacement, sandblasting, no job is too large or too small for Moonlight Restoration. If you want quality work done by skilled technicians, call Moonlight Restoration in Axtell, Kansas. Owned and operated by Brett and Nikki Runnebaum. Call 736-2359.
And back and ready for high school football action here from Beloit, Kansas. Just previewed some PVL opportunities or some teams there. Jesse, give us a quick look in. You got two Pike Valley players, two Osborne Bulldogs, playing here in this game here, first game, Division II contest. Not the season's work for those two teams that you're kind of a little more familiar with.
Well, with Osborne, what'd they come out ranked preseason? Number 3, number 4. And that kind of surprised everybody because they were bringing a total of 14 kids. I know that preseason jamboree, they kind of struggled, and then they started the year struggling. 0-3 against Hoxie, Elsling, and Victoria. And as everybody's listening, well, Hoxie ran the table, 13-0. Victoria was about to do it, so they had to play Axel, but that's kind of how everybody's season's gone the last 4 years. And with those Osborne boys, very, very tough. Of course, under legendary head coach Steve Tiernan, one of the best in 8-man history, 2 championships there for Baileyville, 3 runners-up, 1 runner-up at Solomon, 1 title at Osborne, and I'm not entirely sure the number of runner-ups he's done there, but Osborne, since they joined the 8-man ranks back in the late 2000s, made the playoffs every single year, and it's been a while since I knew this stat. I think every year making the state quarterfinals at least in every year that they've been 8-man. So
yeah, had a real solid run there and very good power out west.
Yeah, a lot of tradition there with the Bulldogs, and of course, kind of running the MPL here for last decade. Them and Thunder Ridge, 1 or 2 years here and there with Pike Valley, St. John's able to do something, but. Yeah, as far as Northern Plains League football is concerned, Osborne, they're always the top dog. Of course, you got Dalton Garmin here for the Dogs and Seafried as well on the line. So going to be interesting to see what those two guys bring to the table. As for Pike Valley, Andy Cooper, Miles Rickard, 2 great gentlemen, and I'll brag on Andy here a little bit later on. And Max, I'm going to probably shock you with the presents that were in here today.
Oh, probably will, honestly. You never know what's going to come when you got Jesse Sternad up in the booth with you here this morning. And, of course, like you said, we're going to get into these players here as the game goes along, but we're going to take our third break here of this morning. Don't go anywhere. Coming up soon will be head coach Max McInnes with the East Coach interview by John Bolden, and then Trevor Powell will be coming up here in just a little bit. But we're going to take our third time out of the morning. We'll be right back in 2 minutes. You're listening to the 8-Man All-Star Radio Network.
The State Bank in Axtell is synonymous with quality and integrity in the banking business. Financing for your home, for your farm, or your small business. Contact the loan officers if you need money, or if you're putting money away for something special, or just saving for a rainy day. Visit with the professionals at the State Bank of Axtell. They're federally insured, member FDIC, the State Bank of Axtell.
Bremen Farmers Mutual Insurance, providing high-quality coverage and service, all at a competitive premium cost. Since 1888, Bremen Farmers Mutual has offered homeowner, farm owner, business owner, fire, and inland marine coverage. Dependable and affordable. See your local agent representing Bremen Farmers Mutual Insurance. Learn more about the various insurance products offered by going online at bfmic.com.
Call Parthimer Electric at 268-0553. At Parthimer Electric, we specialize in residential and commercial electrical services and are dedicated to providing customer service that is second to none. Parthimer Electric won't leave the job until you're satisfied. Parthimer Electric is available at all hours and offers flexible services for indoor or outdoor jobs. You can visit us on the web at the Parthimer Electric Facebook site or give us a call at 268-0553. Parthimer Electric in Frankfort.
After over 70 years serving Kansas, we here at Bruna Implement know what your farm requires, why it's a necessity, and how to get it to you with a smile. We strive to exceed your expectations and intend to do so, whether you get a tractor, drill baler, or a combine. Whether it's in Marysville, Washington, Seneca, Hiawatha, Clay Center, or even Humboldt, Nebraska, all your farm machine needs can gladly be met at Bruna Implement. Call 785-662-5304 to have your needs met today.
Welcome to the D2 All-Star pregame with John Bowden and Max McCunis from Marmaton Valley in Moran, Kansas. Coach, head coach of the D2 East, how have things gone in Beloit this week?
They've gone great. We've got a really talented team. They're fast. They're physical. They come from a lot of winning programs. We've had a lot of fun playing football. It's good to see these guys out here having fun, and us coaches have enjoyed it a lot as well.
Coach, as I watched practice a couple nights this week, they were fired up just like they'd been playing for 4 years. Really bring a lot of leadership, both physically, mentally, and boisterous. Talk about the offense and what you expect today.
Our offense, we're fast. We got a quick-paced offense. We've got guys who can really stretch the field and get over the top, and we've got guys who are dangerous in open space. You're talking about Carter Olson, the 100-meter champion, Jaden Grenier, Lane Loiseau, Dane Winters. There's a lot of weapons for J.D. Tyson there, and he's getting the ball to all of them.
Coach, talk about defense. Speed usually does the trick. Talk about your defense today.
Defense is kind of the same story. We've got a lot of speed in the defensive backfield, and then also our front five. Got the Defensive Player of the Year, Eli Brockstrom, in there, as well as some other All-Staters, Trent Harden and Braden Lawson, and then also getting some great contributions from those other guys on defense. I really like where we're at.
Coach, today's a big day for the kids and the assistant coaches. You've had a great time this week in Beloit. Tell us about your assistant coaches today.
Well, my assistant coaches are awesome, and that's why I picked them. Nick McAnulty, he's actually one of our league rivals that we play against at Marmaton Valley, and he's a good friend of mine. I coached with him in the All-Star game last year, so I was glad to have him back. And Jeff Slater, I've gotten to be pretty good friends over recently, and he's a great coach. He's really offensive-minded coach, and he's got his quarterback playing quarterback, so it's been a great addition to have him join the staff this year. I'm happy to have both those guys.
Well, Coach, after today, Beloit facilities are going to go artificial turf. Is there any place around the state of Kansas that has D2 facilities with artificial turf?
Yeah, we actually played a neutral site game against Wheatland Grinnell. So we traveled about 4.5 hours, I think, to go play Wheatland Grinnell in Greensburg. So we've had some experience playing on turf. So if I get to come back here sometime, then that'll be just fine to play on turf. But for now, we'll go tear up the grass one more time.
Coach, best of luck to you and the D2 East team this week. Let's go get a win.
Thank you. Can't wait.
B&D Buildings of Axtell specializes in post frame buildings. Give them a call for stud frame buildings with complete concrete and electrical work included. It's one call to get the job done. B&D Buildings, specializing in post-frame building construction, plus repairs and more. Always free estimates. Give them a call. B&D Buildings of Axtell, 785-294-0147. B&D Buildings at 785-294-0147.
Not everyone can become a Lennox dealer, so you'll be glad to know when you buy a Lennox from Hanover Electric Incorporated, you not only get the best products in the business, you also get a tradition of experience in making sure your home is as comfortable as it can be. Because every independent Lennox dealer must pass the Lennox Quality Dealer Standards Program, the toughest test in the industry. And what it means is you get a dealer you could always count on. Lennox, one less thing to worry about.
The building pros at the Axtell Lumber Company in Axtell are ready to help you out with your building project. If you're remodeling or adding a room to your home, or if you have new construction in mind, on the farm, or a new residential construction unit, they'll help you out at the Axtell Lumber Company. They manufacture hog and calf shelters and roof trusses in Axtell. They're quality made and priced right. Also stop in for paint, tools, hardware, and more at the Axtell Lumber Company, Axtell, Kansas.
Western National Bank in Summerfield wants you to feel good about where you are with your money. Available when you need them and offering online and personal services, Western National Bank will make sure to keep you and your money happy. Call Western National Bank at 244-6211 to make your money smile. Member FDIC.
The 40th annual 8-Man All-Star Game hits KNDY FM 95.5 Saturday, June 7th, as the best 8-man football players in Kansas hit the field in a battle of East versus West. With two other fellow Wildcats playing in Saturday's game, Frankfort's Lane Loizo gives credit to his head coach after a very successful season.
We're talking with Coach Trevor Powell, D2 West All-Star coach from Buckland Red Aces. Coach, honor and a pleasure. You guys went 9-1. You play in the D2 West versus East game today in Beloit. How have things gone for you guys in Beloit this week?
Oh, it's been great. We've had a great time with the guys. It's they've been super coachable. I've really appreciated all the hard work that they've put in. A lot of these guys, they come from their school and they're the dude on their team. They're doing everything: offense, defense, special teams. They're kicking, punting, returning. They're doing everything and at their school. And then they come here and then they meet 19 other guys on their team that have been doing the same thing. And it's really cool to see the blend of talents and these guys' willingness to try new positions. We've got guys that came from playing quarterback and on their high school team, and now they're playing, wide receiver, or they're playing corner, or they're playing a linebacker. I've been very appreciative of the guys and my coaching staff as well. They've been great. Matt Barnett from Central Christian and Kyle Fender from Fairfield. These guys have been a great help to me, and I really appreciate them too.
You talk about play calling today and offense, defense. About how many offensive plays can you put in 4 days?
Well, the way that I do things with the offense, it always changes. At least for me, I always tweak something every year. But everything that I do on offense is called with a concept. So we have about 5 run concepts and about 6 or 7 pass concepts. But then we have various different formations. So if you want to be technical about it, we can run quite a few plays. But really, when you peel back the curtain, it's all the same stuff. We just dress it to look a little different.
Coach, as we break down your offense today, what kind of things can we kind of watch for today from D2 West? You don't have to give away any secrets, but kind of talk about what your game plan is against a very good D2 East squad today.
Oh yeah, you're right. They are very good. They're very talented. All those guys over there have had a lot of success. It's going to be a tough matchup for sure, but it always is at the All-Star game. For our D2 West squad, I'm just going to do the best that I can to utilize the athleticism and the speed that we have. I'm going to try to make it fun for these guys. I'm going to do my best to let them have some freedom in the offense and to try to be creative but not complicated, and to let them enjoy it a little bit. And hopefully that can bring some success, because we have some very athletic guys, and if we can find ways to get them in space, we're going to be in pretty good shape. But I also, the main thing is we want to win the game, but these guys are here to play in their last game. Most of them, it's the last game they're ever going to play. And so I'm very competitive. I want to win the game, but I also want these guys to come away with a really good experience and good memories of playing in the game as well.
Well, Trevor Powell, I can tell you're a great man and a great coach. Thank you for being on today's pregame, and best of luck to the D2 West squad.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Every week, stay informed and connected with the Frankfort community top stories by getting the Frankfort Area News, a small-town newspaper dedicated to their subscribers, advertisers, and community. Established in 1991, the Frankfort Area News is the official paper of the City of Frankfort, City of Vermilion, and USD 380. They love hearing from their readers. If you have a story, wedding, birth, or something you think local readers would enjoy, or to subscribe, get in touch with the Frankfort Area News, 785-292-4726.
If your car says, I need fixed, call on Little Joe's Service in Axtell to fix it right. From routine maintenance to repairs of all types, Joe can serve your needs. Fast, friendly, and down-to-earth service with satisfied customers from all over the area. Turn to Little Joe's 66th Service in Axtell for any automotive repair needs. Proud supporters of the Axtell community, it's Little Joe's Service.
F&A Construction will build it right. Call today for a quick quote if you're building, remodeling, or adding on. Enjoy your home more and increase its value with F&A Construction. They'll tackle your every project to make sure it's done right. For complete construction services, call on F&A Construction today at 292-4692. That's 292-4692.
Most hailstorms last 3 to 5 minutes. In that time, Mother Nature can deal a crushing blow to your crops, your profits, and the future of your farming operation. Remove that risk with crop hail coverage from Blue Valley Insurance. Our crop hail policies provide protection against physical damage from hail, and our wind coverage ensures a safety net in case of damaging winds and tornadoes. Blue Valley Insurance in Lynn, Greenleaf, Hanover, and Marysville.
Max Blasty with Jesse Sternad back here from Beloit, Kansas, as we get ready for the 8-man Division II All-Star game, again on KNDY FM 95.5 in Marysville, KREP in Belleville 92.1, KDNS 94.1 in Glen Elder, and available online at sunflowerstateradio.com. They're announcing all the players right now, Jesse. So real quick, you've been here a couple of years anyway. What's kind of the rundown of 8-man, and what kind of are you looking to feel or look for here today real quick?
Well, that's the thing with all my 8-man games. You know, I think I've called one official track meet in 8-man football, that being Clifton Clyde's second round win. Was it first round win against Hill City last year? It was 70-66, 62, something crazy like that. You know, I always expected I'd get to see one out of Pike Valley with all the speed that they've had through the years. Never got to do that. Some years here at the 8-man All-Star games, like last year, the Division I game, 50-42. Mm-hmm. Some years you could have a 12-6 snoozer. It just, you never know. You never know. Putting the top talent in the state all in the same field or close enough to the top talents that you can. I know there's various commitments. For example, the Cook twins later on for the Division I game for Clifton Clyde have a scholarship luncheon where they're going to be accepting their scholarships officially for having their entire college paid for, because some pretty talented young men there.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's part of what comes into this. I know there's a few other kids that had prior commitments, so obviously it's a big honor to be honored here today for all these players, a chance one last time to get everything rocking and rolling, and we're looking forward to be able to call this here before the end of it. They're still doing some lineup announcements here as we sit here. You got one more thing?
Well, or you could be like Brandon Schmelsley and you're getting ready to play for the Hawks.
That could be true, too. There's a lot of 8-man players throughout the state that aren't here, most notably Schmelsley, the future Jayhawk from Axtell. So everyone's got commitments, but we're looking forward to seeing the kids that we can here today. We're going to go ahead and take another timeout. We'll come back, preview these teams a little bit more in depth as we get ready for kickoff here just a little bit after 10 o'clock, as they're still getting lineups and players announced on the field. We're going to take another 2-minute break. You are listening to the 8-man All-Star Radio Network.
When it comes to your health, you deserve the best. At Hanover Hospital, they are more than just a healthcare facility. They are your friends and neighbors right here in your community. Their commitment to high-quality, family-friendly care means when you're at Hanover Hospital, you're with family. They offer state-of-the-art healthcare services with certified professionals on staff 24/7, 365 days a year. Hanover Hospital, your community, your health. Visit them today for close-to-home quality health care.
If your vehicle is looking like it just went through a money rally race, or perhaps it's been target practice for the neighborhood bird gang, then you need to get your car washed today at the Axtell Car Wash. The Axtell Car Wash has 2 enclosed self-service bays, even one size for semi-tractors. Just pull in, pay with your bank card, and wash all the dirt, mud, bugs, and bird stuff off your vehicles. You don't have to drive far to get a clean car. Just visit the Axtell Car Wash, proud supporter of the Axtell Eagles.
Are you tired of one-size-fits-all insurance? Become a champion of choice with an independent insurance agent. We're not tied to one company. At SBS Insurance Agency, we shop a variety of options to find the coverage that suits you. Experience the freedom of tailored insurance solutions, personalized service, and unwavering support. Choose SBS today. Your coverage, your way. Call us and let us navigate the insurance maze for you.
From the ground up, Midwest Products Hanover can assist with concrete drives, parking, walks, entries, foundations, and support walls. Quality people help produce quality products, and you can rely on their crews for a job done right. Concrete plants at Hanover, Washington, and Clay Center. Midwest Products also haul rock, sand, and gravel. They have a crane for rent and can assist with site preparation. Start your next job with a call for a quote today from Midwest Products at Hanover.
As always, a big thank you to our sponsors. As you're hearing here today on your radio broadcast, without the support of those businesses, our broadcast wouldn't be possible here today. And Max Blasky here on the play-by-play for Division II, joined by Jesse Sternad Keller here, and then we'll switch roles for Division I coming up here in just a little bit. Jesse, they're still getting some announcements and awards handed out on the field. So real quickly, let's take a peek at this 8-man Division II All-Star game. I did a little breakdown of the rosters earlier. This might be one of the more lopsided games. Now, I don't want to say it's going to be by any means. But
well, don't say that yet.
When you look at the All-State selections for these teams, West, pretty solid. 6 first-team All-Staters. That's a pretty good number. The East side, of course, led by Axel Eagles, 13 first-team All-Staters for the state of Kansas. So if I'm looking at anywhere today, I think I'm going to be looking on that East side for some explosive plays and maybe some high numbers on the scoreboard.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the unofficial betting pool that I know goes on around the state of Kansas amongst referees and potentially coaches is the thing for this game or not.
Yeah.
That may or may not be legal. But, yeah, if I were a betting man, I'm probably going to the East just because of the star power, just because, well, the fact that Eli Brockstrom hasn't lost a football game since maybe tackle football in 4th grade.
I was going to say, it's been a long time since the Eagles lost a game, and a few other teams have had some really good seasons here throughout the year. It's going to be a real quick turnaround for us here as they're getting the national anthem going. So we're going to go ahead and take another 2-minute timeout. When we come back, it'll be time for game time here from Beloit. We're going to take a 2-minute break. You're listening to the 8-Man All-Star Radio Network.
Every great team has shared qualities that separated them from all else. Whether you're talking about the 72 Dolphins, the 92 Dream Team, the Fab Five, or the Magnificent Seven, you can count on one thing. The vision was clear and the commitment was obvious. High standards were set and improvement was never ending. At Sapp Brothers, our goal is simple: to be your number one source of propane, lubricants, and extreme premium diesel fuel. And we'll reach our goal by treating you like family and giving you service that makes you want to come back. Join our team, Sapp Brothers Petroleum, in Philly, Crete, Lincoln, Humboldt, and Hanover, Kansas.
Axtell Truss has the experience to provide custom-built trusses for any application. Put them to work with your next project. Let them help design the right pitch, length, and number of trusses to suit your needs. They can turn out more complicated designs and configurations as well. All are solidly built in their enclosed shop with roll-off delivery to your site available. They also assure the best materials and quality construction, completed on your schedule. Call today for a quote or more information at 785-736-2291. That's Axtell Truss.
Flint Hills Mechanical is a call away for your plumbing work, heating, and air conditioning. Backed up or won't drain? Call Flint Hills Mechanical. New and existing plumbing work, plus heating and air conditioning, as well as custom sheet metal service. Call on Flint Hills Mechanical. Find them on Facebook or give them a shout at 785-313-0103. Flint Hills Mechanical, Frankfort.
At Sump Ag, our goal is to serve the farmer and run a business that honors God. With honesty and integrity, we strive to serve our customers so that they may grow the best crops possible. We have a strong lineup of leading corn and soybean seed genetics, including LG, Zytavo, and others. In addition to seed, get knowledgeable chemical advice and competitive prices to protect your crops. Talk to Jonathan at Sump Ag today about your seed and chemical needs. Call 785-386-8521.
Saturday afternoon in the state of Kansas for some high school football. We're about ready to we're getting ready for kickoff here at the 8-man All-Star Game Division II coming up here in just a little bit. Jesse, real quick, you had a good notion. Let's run through here all the players that made the list. We're going to start with the West as we get ready here for kickoff.
So the West, of course, playing in the green here this morning. That is number 0, George Von Lenrod of Dighton, Lincoln Schaefer, number 1 of Greeley County, Hazen Ridequist of Hodgman County. He's wearing number 2. Rhett Katz of Logan, basketball fame there, number 4, one of the best basketball players in the state of Kansas. Just not good enough to beat Hanover this year. Travis Corby, Walls County, number 5. Number 9, Kyler Murphy of Norwich. Wyatt Griffin of the state runners-up to Axel from Victoria, their quarterback. Ryland Price, number 11 from Dighton. Connor Fowler from Fairfield, number 12. Number 15 from Buckland, as he plays under their head coach, Trevor Powell, in this game. Number 20, William Cook, also for the Red Aces. Number 24, Ryland Coyman, Central Christian. Number 30, Cale Brown from Victoria again there. Number 34, Dawson Ruff, Hodgman County. Number 44, Carter Swingle from Attica, Argonia. Number 50, Jeb Miller, the last Victoria player. Number 56, Caden Redburn, Wheatland Grinnell. Number 70, Keaton Miller, Hutch Central Christian. Number 72, Garrett Lanning, Fairfield. And lastly, for Logan Palco, number 88, Caleb Sparks, for, I believe, Logan Palco is the Trojans.
Yeah, right? I think you're right. I think I wrote that down correctly. And as you were talking about there, too, you know, you're going to hear a lot of names from familiar schools. Just real quickly, Victoria had 3 kids come in, Buckland 2, and their head coach, Fairfield 2, Logan Palco 2, Dighton 2, Hutch Central Christian 2, and Hodgman County 2 players from their side as well. As we're getting ready for the coin toss, Jesse, let's go ahead and run through Division I East, maybe some more names people might recognize.
So number 1, Gentry McGee, Colony Crest. Man, perfect day to not be able to talk.
We're getting back in the rhythm. We've been off the mic for a little bit.
Yeah, track's not too hard. Number 2, Dalton Garman for the Osborne Bulldogs. Number 3, Jaden Grenier from Marvin Valley. And then the kids that we know and love, Ryland Bussing of Axtell. Number 6, Lane Wiseau from Frankfort. Number 8, J.D. Tyson. I believe he's going to be the starting quarterback here from Burlingame. Number 9, Andrew Conrad from Lebo. Number 10, Miles Rickard. And number 11, Andy Cooper for the Pike Valley Panthers. Number 12, Zachary Oswald from Lebo. Number 15, Landon Sump representing the Blue Valley Randolph Rams. Number 18, from Burlingame, Timmy Roberts. And then the Axtell Eagles, Eli Broxmer, number 20. Number 23, Dalton Heinen. For Frankfort, number 24, that is Trent Harden. Back to the Burlingame Wildcats, number 32, Dane Winters. Number 33, also for the Cats, but wearing red, or at least the silver helmet from Frankfort, Carter Olson. Number 52, Gage Seafried, the last Osborne Bulldog. Number 56, Braden Lawson, Marmaton Valley. And lastly, number 87, Parker Hayde for Burlingame. Again, head coaches here for the East and West, Max McInnes from Marmaton Valley, Jeff Slater of Burlingame, Nick McAnulty from Colony Crest, his assistants. For the West, that is Trevor Powell of Buckland and Matt Barnett, Hutch Central Christian, and from Fairfield, assistant coach Kyle Finder.
And before I forget, I want to give our big thank you to John Bone that got those pregame interviews with those coaches done here this week for really hard Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And let me and Jesse come back in here, do a little fun here on this Saturday morning. So it was, I'm going to have to get my color squared away here, right, Jesse? Green Team West, who I believe lost. That means the East Team won. East Team will look to receive this first kickoff. Back to receive for the East squad, it will be Miles Ricard, and I believe it was Gentry McGee there. Cernat, since it's going to be your Pike Valley Panther back there to return, how exciting has Miles been to watch throughout his high school career?
Well, one of the hardest-nosed football players that Pike Valley has seen since 2016, 2017 there with Blaze Pear, as he's going to be the best man in a wedding here later on that I'm going to be trying to get to. So hopefully Max and Andy have something in store for us here, something fun. But Miles, usually better at kicking the ball than returning it, so we'll see how this goes. And away we go.
East squad will retrieve it. Now fumble it there. Ricard about the 10. He's going to be driven back to the 9. So not a good start there as we just started for the Pike Valley Panthers. We mentioned it. The East squad wearing gold will start off with the ball to start on this east-west facing field. East will work right to left as we see it going into a little bit of sun clouds here from Beloit, Kansas. The green on the west side will get first cracked at the defense. Mentioned a little earlier, didn't get starting lines before this one, so we'll try and hit on everyone as this game goes along, but bear with us as we get started. First possession, it'll be in the shotgun formation, a little option between Loizo and quarterback in the backfield. That there was J.D. Tyson, and on the first play, we're already seeing it. We mentioned the rain earlier in this game, but Tyson slipping at about, the 6-yard line, and he's going to go down for a 2-yard loss on the first play of the game.
Yeah, the mud here already playing a factor, so no bueno for anybody, and running the ball going to be a trick for sure.
It's interesting here. Second play is going to be a 2nd down and 12. Little screen pass right side into the hands of, I believe, that was Dane Winters, top receiver in the state of Kansas for the Burlingame here this season. Burlingame Bulldogs over there. Of course, Frankfort beat them out in regional rounds. But I was going to make the comment, and I'm sure you've seen it over the years too, Jesse, just how the eight-man style has changed in terms of play. The first 2 possessions, we've seen 3 receivers split out wide and an empty set in the gun formation. So we're looking for a lot of spread action here today as we're going to go a clean open set in the backfield. Ball's going to be at the 7-yard line for 3rd down and 13. Back to pass for the quarterback. Looking right now, a little floater to Loizo, right side. Loizo goes up and high points that at the 35-yard line. It comes down with a huge completion there from J.D. Tyson to Lane Loizo over on the far side.
Yeah, great job there by Lane. No surprises here to anybody. Able to just find that one, go up there, grabs it, comes down, and the offense finally rolling here for the Gold Squad.
Lane came up 5 yards short of a 900-yard receiving year, 14 touchdowns. There's going to be a quick play. It's going to be a quarterback sneak down the left side for J.D. Tyson. He's going to be dropped for a gain of about 3, bringing up now a 2nd down and 7 just short of midfield. And the East Squad, working fast here. Here's an option, gives it off to Loizo in the backfield. He's going to be stopped, though, in the backfield. Good tackle there. William Cook of Buckland coming up from his defensive end position, dropping Loizo back behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 6.
Boy, man, I am trying to keep track of way more stuff than kids that I don't know. Trying to get back in the swing of this thing.
It's been a while since both me and you have been doing this, hasn't it?
Yes, it has.
Again, Max Blaska here at the play-by-play for Division II. Jesse Sternad with me on color. It's got a 3rd down and 12 now. East Squad has already got one of these. Here's a little flip pass out to the flat Loizo left side. He's going to be driven out of bounds hard just short of midfield. It's going to pull up well short of that first down. But we're already seeing this West Squad that we talked about in terms of all-state selections maybe being a little light, getting out there defensively and causing havoc on the east side. Gain of 5, they say, makes it 4th and 6. We're going to go for it here. Why not? It's the All-Star game. Let's have some fun. Coach Max McInnes already converted a long 3rd down earlier in this drive after it started off a little sloppy, but here we go. Of course, good reminder, too, some of these boys haven't put on the football pads for, over 6 months, so learning the game back again is going to be important.
Yeah, Mr. Rickard there for Pike Valley hasn't done a sport since football season ended there late October, and I tried to tell him, better make sure you're running, and I don't think he listened.
There's going to be a few East Squad members off and running, though, before the snap is going to go on 2. Everyone but the 3 offensive linemen got that motion, so a false start now, first penalty on the East Squad, walked in back 5.
So as the refs line that one up, near side hash, we'll get ready to go here, and yeah, the hard count just not working out for the East Squad. Will we see them punt it now, lined up on their side of the field?
I say we go for it. Let's see what we can do here. J.D. Tyson's going to be back in the gun a little bit. We're going to have a timeout here forced off the first mark of the game. First drive, it's going to be a timeout. 0-0 our score. Timeout goes over to the East Squad. We're just going to keep it here on our first timeout here of the day. The Squad looks to make their way down the field. Again, Max Blasky here with Jesse Sternad for the 8-man Division II All-Star Games. Jesse, our pregame was a little short. We did talk about some names that have had some huge impacts for these teams. Quarterback here for Burlingame, J.D. Tyson, one of the best players in the state of Kansas here this season. Not only was he first-team offense and defense in Lyons County, but he led his squad into a thrilling game versus Frankfort in sectional round, and you're already seeing the trust that Max McInnes is putting in his quarterback here early on.
Yeah, Tyson, 76% on the year, 1,700 yards, 41-4 as far as touchdowns and interceptions go. If there's a QB to have, if you're going to be throwing the ball today, he's probably the best one in the entire state. I say that now. Hopefully he can prove me right.
His favorite target, Dayton Winters, goes in motion. Empty set here. Carter Olson wide open. Caught at the 20. Down the 15. 10-5. Touchdown. East side. That's going to be a 45-yard strike from quarterback J.D. Tyson to Carter Olson as he waltzes in for our first score of the day.
So with that, finally getting... Nope, and I've got that lined up wrong. That's going to almost put J.D. Tyson to 100 yards throwing on this very, very early morning. After a lot of back-and-forth plays, the running game not really living up to their expectations so far.
2-point conversion. It's going to be Tyson in the shotgun. It's going to be power right side to the running back. That's going to be Eli Brockman. Brockman towards the goal line, but he's going to be stopped short as the Axel Eagle comes up short on his first touch of the ball. But it is going to be the East squad striking first here in this contest as they lead 6-0 in this first quarter. We're going to take a quick 60-second timeout. You're listening to the 8-Man All-Star Radio Network.
When agricultural conservation work is needed on your farm, call Barry Bussing with Bussing Construction in Axtell, offering dozer services on terrace and waterways. Improve the value and resourcefulness of your farmland. Contact Barry Bussing today at 785-799-5205 for conservation work that'll build better practices for the future. That's Bussing Construction of Axtell, 785-799-5205.
There's no better place to work, play, and relax than the great outdoors. Spend your day connected with Blue Valley Technologies outdoor Wi-Fi. Join online meetings on the patio, stream your favorite playlist by the grill, or watch a movie under the stars. Enjoy an uninterrupted connection this summer without ever having to step indoors with Blue Valley Technologies outdoor Wi-Fi. To learn more, visit bluevalley.net/outdoor.
Max Plasky along with Jesse Sternad here. 8-man division. East squad strikes first on the 45-yard touchdown pass from J.D. Tyson to Carter Olson. 2-point conversion was no good as Eli Brockman couldn't make his way into the end zone. Kickoff, it will be Lane Loiza who sends it back. Return man for the west side will launch it, go into the end zone. Tyler
Barely.
That ball stopped at about the 2. It rolled maybe a couple extra 6 inches and died there right at the 1-yard line.
Again, you can tell there is a lot of water on this field. And the good news there for the West squad, the fact that the sun to their back, so unlike with Miles Rickard on that opening kickoff, wasn't looking into the sun, didn't have probably the worst play of his entire high school career because I've never seen Miles drop a ball like that. So didn't even matter, though, because they thankfully let the ball roll over the goal line and were set up from the 15.
From the 15, we're going to start this first drive for the West squad. It's going to be a quarterback keeper left side down the far side. Wyatt Griffin of Victoria gets that carry. Got to look at my right stat sheet here. Got to give credit here to Jesse. He did such a good job of getting stats and everything walked around together. So thank you, kind sir, for making this work smoothly, hopefully, today.
I did something. I don't know if it was good, but...
Did a lot more than I did. I'll tell you what, I just showed up and started talking. I just got told where to go and had her going.
Well, when you've been around as many coaches as I have, I guess I have been doing this long enough, they finally started to not ignore my emails.
You've got the connections. It's not what you know, it's who you know. On the second down and 9 play, it's going to be a handoff. Is that number 8? No, 9. Kyler Murray of Norwich is going to get the second run of the game. Murray led Norwich to a 3-6 record here this season. And that's what's interesting, I think, about these games as you go through some of these team stats. Not every one of these teams were state playoff teams, but every one of these players were a very important role to how their team succeeded in this past high school football season. First pass going to be a floater here to the flat, incomplete. There was quarterback Wyatt Griffin of Victoria looking for his man in the flat out there, Lincoln Schaefer of Greeley County. Now we're going to have our third down of the game coming up, and it looks like the East squad is going to punt this one away. Back deep to return, West squad will punt it. Back to return for the East squad, number 20, Eli Brockman.
Probably a safe bet lined up on your 18. Don't want to let this thing get too lopsided too quick. We'll see, though, what Eli can do after the short punt, and he's going to just let it go, and West will down it at the 30.
good idea there for Brock Sherman, of course, continuing his football playing career. If memory serves correct. Baker, that's what I thought.
Yep. Talking to him shortly there, the walk out of state track. It was between Baker and Benedictine. Benedictine might be, in a better setup for next year, but hey, he gets to play immediately and gets to build something. And Baker, national runners-up back in 2016, and hopefully Eli able to get back there himself.
Exactly, not too far off from some high runs. Here's Lane Loizo up the middle. He's going to be stopped after a short gain in the middle of that West squad defense. Lane, of course, the all-time leading scorer in Frankfort school history. Here's a quick second down play as they're going to give it right back to Lane on the draw. He slips right at midfield, so a short gain on that one. Of course, Frankfort Wildcats, not familiar. They had a heck of a run at it this season. Of course, lost to Axel for the second straight season in sub-state. Always had a good run at basketball, too. Baseball came up just a game short of a state tournament title, too, as well. And I know, Jesse, we were talking a little bit beforehand. This is probably one of the better classes Frankfort has seen, but just couldn't get past that Axel hump this year.
Yeah, well, you look at it between Lane and Carter, two of the fastest guys, two of the best athletes in Frankfort history, but there's just some guys that have careers like that. Doesn't matter how good you are, there is just some team somewhere that's better. But unfortunately for them, the better team is only 30 minutes away.
Unfortunately, probably one of the best groups of athletes we've seen in the TVL in a long time. Here's going to be a 3rd down and 9 completion here to the near side. That went from J.T. Tyson to his favorite receiver on the season, Dane Winters. Of course, Winters had himself a huge year for Burlingame, over 1,100 yards and 10 touchdowns offensively, first team wide receiver and co-offensive player in Lyon County. And to go back to it, watching this offense, we mentioned the Frankfort first drive, it was Loizo and Olson. Here now the Burlingame pair starting to work up. Now Winters going to be stopped in the backfield by Ryland Price.
Yeah, Ryland Price there for Dighton. Didn't even give him a chance, and loss of 4, loss of 5. And again, the rushing game just not a thing here today. As let's see, another -6 yards. So -4 yards rushing on the morning, 101 yards passing so far for the East team.
Price, a big part of Dighton's 11-1 record. Don't see this. Well, I see it fairly often now, but played running back and nose guard in his high school career. So heck of an athlete there for Dighton. Here's going to be an option right side. Loizo takes the late pitch, cuts it down the middle, makes a man miss, picks up about 5, and we're going to get back those yardage we lost, plus a little extra, bringing up now a little more manageable 3rd down for this East squad.
And they're lined up right there, the Blue Star at the 35-yard line. And at this point, 4-down territory. We'll see, though, because, again, running game not there. Yes, you do have Lane Loizo in the backfield, but
haven't got much else after that. 3rd down at about 7. Tyson looking, swings the left side, pass complete to Jaden. How do we say it? Grenier. Marmaton Valley wide receiver comes up with his first reception. It's a big one all the way down to the 15. About a 20-yard pickup there for this East squad, and they're working down into the red zone already on their second drive. They're leading this one 6-0. 5:30 left to play first quarter. Scoring got started with a 45-yard touchdown pass from J.D. Tyson to Carter Olson. Now here's the 1st down and 10 from the 15. Tyson looks, lefty pump fakes left, now looks to roll. He's going to be swarmed in the backfield. He lets this one go, looking to get it to a receiver, an incomplete pass.
It was Ryland Koyman from the D end from Hutch Central Christian, the pressure there, and just wouldn't let go.
Been pretty pleased early on here with this West squad. They are getting pressure at the line of scrimmage, but like we talked about with the East squad, having 13 first-team All-State selections for Kansas, there's a lot of athletes out there that this defense has to contend with.
Yeah, and one thing that's always fun to look at here, the kind of guys that these coaches pick, and again, a lack of serious size here for both squads, and kind of not doing the East so many favors up front right now. And some years, well, we'll talk about quarterback decisions here later on as they motion in the backfield, and looks like we're going to get a timeout called from the East.
The second timeout already here called by the East squad. A little miscommunication. We saw them have a false start already earlier in this contest. Now 2 players went in motion forced head coach Mac McInnes into a timeout. So early on here today, like I think we've been talking about, an air raid attack from the East squad. They're already up 6-0. West squad just hasn't got anything together. 3 or 4 total yards on that first drive for the West squad?
For D2 West currently, a total of 1.
1 yard. Okay.
1 yard.
Okay, well, we're seeing where that defense comes from. And, again, when you look at that East squad, and we'll talk about it again throughout the season, but you look at the year that Axtell had defensively, they only allowed 4 touchdowns, I think 3 touchdowns maybe all season.
Wasn't that good?
Wasn't that good? It
could have been that good.
It was pretty darn good. Frankfort, very good defensively, too, as well. As you look at some of these other schools out there. Of course, Lebo had a solid defense. Burlingame was good until they ran into Frankfort. So looking at this, again, East squad stacked on both sides of the ball here today.
Well, the one thing about Axtell, getting some comments earlier from Ryland Bussing, talking about Care Paravel, the only team that ever really challenged them besides Frankfort and Canton Galva, but a total of 6 games in these Axtell boys' career that went the full length.
That's pretty incredible over a 4-year span. Here's a quick screen pass from Tyson left side into the hands of Grenier. Am I still getting that one wrong? Grenier. We'll get that right by the end of it. So the second down play comes up with nothing, brings up a 3rd down and 10. So quickly the East squad has moved inside the red zone here. Ball still sent at the 15. The last 2 possessions have gone nowhere as we walk under 4:45 left to play in this first quarter of the 8-man Division 2 All-Star game.
But 2 downs to get 15 yards should be easy enough with, still 4.5 minutes left here on the clock in the first quarter. Slow going with all this passing. So we could be in for a very, very long day.
Tyson looking. Now he's rolling right. Flips it up over the head to Loizo. Loizo close to the first down markers. He's going to be shoved out of bounds. Defender over on that far side, Wyatt Griffin of Victoria, lost his helmet. Is a little indication how powerful and strong Loizo is. They're going to call that a first down. I think they're going to call him short by about 6 inches. So that's going to be a 4th down and a half a foot from the 5.5 yard line. They need to hit the 5 to get a first down. 4th down play. East squad has already got one of these down. We're going to go trips to the left side. Tyson alone in the backfield in the shotgun as he's been all day. Hash right. Screen pass left side into Winters. Winters caught behind the line and dropped. Quickly there for the west side defense was William Cook of Buckland, along with a bevy of other defenders as they snuck out that screen pass from the get-go.
And again, nobody can get their feet planted to go anywhere as Dane Winters caught the ball, tried to turn upfield, and then just fell over.
And that's the perfect explanation for it. We saw it earlier in the game. The first play for the C squad, it was an option, and quarterback fell on the ground. So still a little wet out there on this field. Maybe Division I game this afternoon will dry up a little bit. So now second possession for the West squad as they're going to start at their own 5 yard line. Not good starting position for West squad on either drive. And here's going to be a quarterback power, but he's going to be popped right at the line of scrimmage.
That was either Braden Lawson or Gage Seafried of Osborne or Marmison Valley, not sure. I believe that was 56 as Lawson there laid the wood for the 2 yard sack.
Just giving a quick rundown to the defense from the East squad as we can see the back of their jerseys. It is Lawson at nose tackle. Right end, it will be Trent Harden of Frankfort. Left end, it's going to be Timmy Roberts of Burlingame. Linebackers looking like Eli Brocksterman, Ryland Bussing. The near side here will get that numbered secondary just after this second down play. Screen pass left side through the hands and incomplete. Trying to get it to Hazen Reitquist, Osmond County, but now an incompletion. And again, this West squad deep in their own end zone will be forced with a long 3rd down and 11 here to go.
And if Andy Cooper, instead of being 6'3", 6'4", would have been 6'6", and even longer wingspan, could have been looking at a pick 6 there, but so close, but yet so far.
At defensive backfield for this East squad, it is Andy Cooper at Pike Valley, rolled around with Dalton Garman of Osborne, and out on the far side, Ginger McGee of Colony Crest. 3rd down and 11 to go, and now we're going to have our second flag of the day. I think this one is going to be a false start, that it will, so 1 penalty apiece now. Can't back up much farther from the 5 to your own end zone, though.
And we're going to see a switch up there at quarterback. It's now Lucas Kirk in the backfield for Buckland, number 15. As Trevor Powell giving him the nod. here on this second series.
Lucas Kirk-Bucklin, first-team SPI AA quarterback and defensive back. Rushed for over 600 yards, passed for just over 1,000 on the season. But here he is with a third down and now 14 to go from their own 3-yard line in the shotgun, looking right, now looking left, steps up in the middle on the draw. Got some space here near side. He's going to get past the 10 and get smacked right about the 13-yard line, coming up with the tackle. Andy Cooper there, Pike Valley Panthers.
Andy, good job in the open field, but as he was breaking down there, he was waiting for Kirk to do something with his feet. But again, nobody can move out there, so none of it matters.
Everyone's kind of sliding around. When you say break down, everyone looks a little bit more like they're ice skating out there here this morning, but doing a good job here early on. Going under 3 minutes in this first quarter, still 6-0 in favor of the East squad. They started this game off with a 45-yard pass from quarterback J.D. Tyson to Frankfurt's Carter Olson. Here's a punt, back to return right at the 30. It'll take a bounce. As picking it up will be Eli Brocksherman. He'll take it to the right just past midfield.
And despite that being a 40-yard punt, I think that ball was 50 yards in the air there for Eli. And he also about lost that one in the sun, just like Miles did on the opening kickoff.
Well, we mentioned it a little bit earlier, Jesse, and I wasn't a big football player. You played a little football in your career, didn't you?
I was on the field, and Republic County got murdered just about every single time I played.
But going back to it, picking up those pads for the first time, kind of like summer weights, it does take some time to get used to how that ball travels and how it sees. So not surprised here. Early draw for Loizo as they're feeding the bell cow. Lane Loizo up the middle. That's already going to be a rush attempt number 6 already? 4. Okay, well, numbers are just a little off, but pretty darn good.
20 yards rushing for Loizo, and as far as this game is concerned, that might as well be 100 yards.
Yeah, honestly, at this point, I don't think the record here in front of me stands, but I think he probably had the most 100-yard rushing games in Frankfort history. I'm not going to say that correctly, but he had a heck of a year in his career for the Wildcats. And, of course, a big part of that, everyone else around him as a team, 2 straight losses to Axtell and Sub-State, just couldn't quite get over that hump, but good runs by Nick Anderson's squads. Here's going to be Loizo again right side on the halfback draw.
As he tiptoes through the defense there, gets brought down by number 20 and number 56 for the Green.
William Cook-Bucklin, already 1 tackle for loss, comes up with a big tackle there on that one. Kind of interesting aspect from this E squad, too, as well. They're using a lot of motion in the backfield. Loizo to go along with Dane Winters, a lot of behind-the-line motion left to right as they're trying to get this West squad defense to get moving in one direction. Quarterback now on the backside will be Andrew Conrad from Lido for the E squad. He just took over. He's going to run up first now at the middle off the option from Loizo. To take there by Conrad as he picks up a handful, but now we've got a 4th down and short for this East squad. See how close they're going to give it to him. Well, he's still going to be a couple yards short, so about 4th down and 2 now for the East squad as we go under 60 seconds here in this first quarter. A-Man Division II East squad leading 6-0 here. The A-Man All-Star game from Beloit, Kansas.
As J.D. Tyson will step back out there at QB for the Gold team, him and Loizo lined up in the backfield.
Shotgun Loizo to the right. It's going to be a give to Loizo. Left powers through first down for the East squad as he rumbles inside the 25, goes to about the 23-yard line. We're going to get it started here. Got a little chirping going out there on the All-Star game. Zach Oswald of Levo, the big 6'4", 260, getting in there with a few defenders from that west side. Yeah, it's still football. A lot of these players had a lot of experience with these teams throughout the year. A little background look on who lost to who. So there's no bad blood lost between some of these boys as the All-Star game continues. 20 seconds here in this first quarter. This might be the last play. It's going to be a draw up the middle for J.D. Tyson. He's going to be stopped after about a 4-yard gain as the clock winds down under 10 seconds. Let's see what head coach Mac McInnes wants to do here. And I think we're going to go into quarter break. That will do it. Through the end of the first quarter, the 8-man Division II All-Star game. It is the East squad leading 6-0 on a 45-yard touchdown pass from J.D. Tyson of Burlingame to Carter Olson of Frankfort. We're going to take a 60-second break. We'll be right back on the 8-man radio network.
To be successful in agriculture today, you need to have all your ducks in a row. We can help you do that.
Our ag lenders know their business and they're local. They can work with you to establish the loans and lines of credit you need to get the job done. Because we make our decisions locally, we give quick service on loans. Stop by, see us, and get all your ducks in a row. Citizens State Bank, Marysville, Waterville, and Hanover. Member FDIC.
Just like our area athletes work each day in practice to perform at their best in the big game, the staff at Bruna Implement Company, your local Case IH dealer, work daily to provide the best parts and service experience when you need it most. Bruna Implement Company has been family-owned for 3 generations. We know what it takes to be successful as your area Case IH dealer. For the best in farming equipment with the service to back it, there is only one. Bruna Implement Company, since 1947.
8-man all-star game from Beloit, Kansas, rocking and rolling here in Division II, getting into the second quarter. We're going to switch ends of the field, come down here near to the near side, as it will be the East squad working left to right now as we view it. 6-0 here early on, and Jesse, I know we mentioned it throughout the broadcast, but field conditions kind of playing a little factor here early on.
Yeah, the grass is basically dead as far as the ground is concerned. There is no roll at all once the ball hits there. These boys aren't able to get going, really, if you're somebody other than Lane Loizo. So making it tough, and there's another read option once again as Tyson hands it off to Loizo, and that's going to be good for a gain of 4.
Brings up a shorter third down and about 4. Yeah, Jesse mentioned it there a little bit ago. The grass, of course, Beloit Stadium going to go under a lot of renovations. Jesse, I'm going to lean to you a little bit more, but what, $2.5 million reservation coming up for Beloit's field over here?
Well, that's the part I'm not sure if the total project is $2.5 million or just 1.5, but otherwise, redoing the press box, of course, this being a WPA project for the grandstands, those are staying. They're just trying to do their best to shape them back up. A lot more presentable, new restrooms, new concession area, new track, of course, as that's been having some issues the last several years.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of other... Oh, does that count? Yes, it does.
That's a touchdown. That's J.D. Tyson with a strike to Lane Loizo down the middle. Ran a 3-seam route, and Loizo was wide open at the front of the end zone. Touchdown, East Squad. That was a solid throw, about a 15-yard touchdown strike from Tyson to Loizo. So Tyson, who got bumped out by Loizo in the playoffs, really liking to go to these Wildcats here early on, as both Loizo and Olson have caught touchdown passes from the All-State quarterback.
Well, that was one thing talking to all my guys. You know, you've gotten beat by Axtell all year, and now you're finally getting to play with them to see what they can do. The pass is going to be batted down at the line by George Von Leonard as he was trying to get back in coverage or at least play QB contain. So he slots that one down. 2-point conversion. Once again, no good. 12-0. Gold Squad leads over the green here. 11-13 left to go before halftime.
That's going to lead us to a break. We're going to take a 60-second break. You're listening to the 8-Man All-Star Radio Network.
Landall Company in Marysville is looking for a mechanic to maintain and repair the auto fleet, over-the-road trucks, and forklifts. Duties would include engine inspection, mechanical and electric component maintenance, routine maintenance work. Salaries based on experience and qualification, opportunities for advancement. A full benefit package is available and includes profit sharing, paid time off, paid holidays, comprehensive insurance, 401k, and more. Successful candidates must have good attendance, attention to detail, communication skills, and provide total customer satisfaction. To apply, visit Landall.com. EEO Vets and Disability, welcome.
To keep your vehicle running good and looking good, all you need is M&R Auto Parts in Frankfort. Motor oil, air filters, spark plugs, batteries, brakes, and more. M&R also has what you need for the outside of the vehicle. Wheel cleaners, glass cleaners, washes, and waxes. That's M&R Auto Parts, your CarQuest Auto Parts dealer in Frankfort.
Just start of the second quarter here from Beloit, Kansas, 8-man all-star game. East Squad leading 2-0 as J.D. Tyson of Burlingame has found 2 Frankfort Wildcats in the end zone for touchdowns. Carter Olson, first one. Lane Loizo moments ago, making this a 12-0 ball game in favor of the East Squad. This will be the West Squad's third possession now, but they have nothing really to show for it offensively early on.
Total of 9 yards so far here after one quarter and some change. As they'll line up, 2 to the right, 1 to the left. 4 looks like still Kirk, I think, for Buckland as he hands it off on the sweep.
Sweep's going to be going nowhere as Lincoln Schaefer was stopped for a 2-yard loss. Popping up there off the bottom of the pile is number 5, Ryland Bussing of the Axtell Eagles. Of course, Ryland part of that incredible streak that Axtell was on. 4 straight state titles, 4 straight undefeated seasons. Him himself, first team all at TVL and on first team all Division II defensive back for the Eagles last year. An honorable mention 2 years ago. Also a big part of the track standpoint, too, as he helped Axtell win 2 of the last 3 straight state titles on the track. 2nd down and 11 now up. Coming back to pass will be Lucas Kirk. Kirk looking to pass, rolling right, throws incomplete. And now quickly a 3rd down and 11 coming up for this West squad.
And Braden Lawson, big man up front for Marmaton Valley, 6'2", 200 pounds. Defensive end and quarterback. I would have loved to have seen him play QB, but so far just causing all sorts of havoc here today for the Gold Squad. A sack and pressure there as he forced Kirk out of the pocket to roll right.
You know, there's a few of those that, of course, being in smaller schools in Kansas, a lot of these players just have to play most important positions. But I saw that too, quarterback and defensive end. Heck of an athlete there. 3rd down play, it's going to be option right side, taken into the hands of the speedy running back. That's going to be Kyler Murray. And now
fumble?
We've got a late signal. And yes, I think we do. A fumble forced by the East squad. First turnover of the 2025 All-Star Games. Unfortunately, will go to the West squad. And coming out of there, pumping his hands up was Andy Cooper at Pike Valley. He either popped that one loose or came down with it. But turnover now for the West squad as it continues to tumble.
So 10:08 left to go here in the first half, and the Gold looking to keep things rolling. And looks like we're going to put Miles Rickard in the slot for Pike Valley. And now some shifts once again for Gold. So trips right now for J.D. Tyson again, best QB, as he motions downfield here, Division II East.
Lefty steps back, pumps, throws long, got a man, goal line, touchdown, East squad. That's going to be a 26-yard strike from J.D. Tyson to Jaden Gridaire.
So a total of 4 seconds for that touchdown drive.
This East squad, working pretty good here early in this game, just kind of like we figured. That was number 6 to number 3 for that 25-yarder.
As a lineup for the 2-point conversion, that is Rickard in the backfield alongside Tyson. 2 men split out to the right for the Gold.
Going to be a step up for Tyson. Lefty flings it back to the end zone. Catch in the backside for Carter Olson of Frankfort. Comes up with a grown man completion, and that's going to be the first 2-point completion converted here today, as now the 8-man Division II East squad leads this contest 20-0 here with 10 minutes left in the second quarter. We'll take a 60-second break. You're listening to the 8-Man All-Star Radio Network.
B&D Buildings of Axtell specializes in post-frame buildings. Give them a call for stud-frame buildings with complete concrete and electrical work included. It's one call to get the job done. B&D Buildings, specializing in post-frame building construction, plus repairs and more. Always free estimates. Give them a call. B&D Buildings of Axtell, 785-294-0147. B&D Buildings at 785-294-0147.
If you have plumbing, electrical, heating, or air conditioning service needs, call on the team at Eagle HVAC and Plumbing. Tyler and the crew can handle any project from backups, lights out, or heating and air conditioning service. With quick, friendly service to Axtell and all surrounding communities on both new and existing construction. Eagle HVAC also stocks a full line of name brand appliances, and they offer excavation work as well. Turn to Eagle HVAC and Plumbing of Axtell. Find them on Facebook.
20-0 our score here to start second quarter action. Kickoff from the Wise is going to go out of bounds about the 11-yard line, so might be the best offense here early on for this West squad. is a mistake by the east side. Looks like we're just going to re-kick it here. Layla Wise is going to get another chance at it here early on.
So again, J.D. Tyson for the Burlingame Wildcats, representing the Division II East team here. 3 touchdowns to Frankfort Wildcats and Drayden Grenier from Marmaton Valley. And speed, as we said to start off this game, killing, and it is killing the green team so far.
And defensively, too, this green squad hasn't been able to get out west side, just not able to get around the edges, especially of this east side defense. Wise will kick it off again now from his own 25, working left to right as we see it. Back to receive, takes it at the 5-yard line. That's Lincoln Schaefer, works himself to the middle, and he's popped right there at the 15-yard line, coming in for a tough tackle, a group of East All-Stars led by Ryland Bussing.
And Eli Brocksherman. Brocksherman with the initial contact there, and then the extras after, and showing why he was he Division II Defensive Player of the Year
this year, and was offensive player last year. Yep.
But showing the Defensive Player of the Year award right there.
I was going to say, and you know what, the only reason he didn't do that because he didn't have many opportunities. Again, this year's that defense just as good as it had been. Heard a kind of ooh from the crowd, too, on that pop. The boys looking to pop the pads here early this morning. 20-point lead here for the East squad as it will be on the shotgun taking this snap. Wyatt Griffin of Victoria. He's going to hand it off with a little I formation. Of course, you see that very often from Victoria. If you're from the east side or pay attention, Victoria came into their championship game versus Axtell there back on the end of November. One of the better teams in the state had ran through competition, ran through state to a 12-0 record, but they run a power I formation, which you don't see very much here in the 8-man squad, and we saw it right there in that play. Of course, it was Axtell coming away with that championship for their 4th straight 50-0. They continued their roll. Second down now and about 6 to go from the 20-yard line. Back to pass, looking right side, completion, no, incompletion, as coming up forcing that incompletion for the East squad, Dalton Garman of Osborne. Good defense there from the 6-foot linebacker.
And I'm just happy that Dalton able to play in this game first off. Happy then he's able to be doing so good so far. It was the Pike Valley's, I believe it was Osborne's senior night during basketball season. Blew his knee out, of course. The basketball season did not go very well for the Bulldogs. Then he got hurt on senior night, so a heartbreaking end to his basketball career. And the fact that he was able to, I believe, had knee surgery and is out here laying the wood here today for the gold.
Yeah, a lot of these kids, of course, fought injury throughout their high school careers. Here's a power run down the right side for Wyatt Griffin. But not the only story here today. Had a few other scratches due to some injuries and a few kids a couple years ago that made some great comebacks, including Landon Sump of the Blue Valley Rams. He's out here playing today. We haven't mentioned his name yet, but he's been playing every offensive possession so far for this East squad. But kudos to those kids that fight off those injuries and come out here for this honor, get a chance to play one last time. Now we've got a timeout, third timeout of our first half. This side's going to be from the East squad. We're going to keep it right here on our A-Man All-Star Radio Network as we play with 8:40 here in the second quarter. Give you a rundown real quick if you're just joining us. Started out with a 45-yard touchdown pass for the East squad. J.D. Tyson found Carter Olson. Second score came just at the start of the second quarter as Tyson found Lane Loizo for their second score of the game, making it 12-0 after both two-point conversions were no good. And third and final score came just about 60 seconds later at the 10-10 mark as Tyson found Jaden Grenier for a 25-yard touchdown pass, making it 20-0 after the two-point conversion was good here today. Again, Max Blasky with you here. Jesse Sternad to my left. A big thank you to Deb Sasser back in Belleville, making this one run. Bruce Dierking back in Marysville, and Blake and Lydia Hausch there in Glen Elder making our broadcast possible. I want to give big shout-outs to Katie Jeter and Derek Nestor, getting some Facebook posts, getting everything rocking and rolling with our audio online. Of course, you can be streaming us, too, if anyone wants to know. SunflowerStateRadio.com. And are you guys streaming it, too, Jesse?
KR92country.com. Of course, no app because we're still trying to figure out what happened to our app guy during COVID, whether he got COVID and passed away or he went to jail. We're not really sure. But, yeah, the app shut down, so we just went away from that.
You can still look up Google real quick. It's easy. You just pop it up. You can listen to it wherever. Nothing's working here for the West squad as an end around on a 4th down and 3 will be snuffed out by the Gold East squad. So a turnover on downs, the first turnover on downs here today for the West side. They did have one fumble already here in this contest.
And a one-play drive last time out that lasted all of 4 seconds. We'll see if they can do that again. Handoff to Miles Rickard. Gain of maybe half a foot for the Pike Valley Panther.
Rickard getting his first action here from the running back position. Of course, a name that Mr. Sternad here is very familiar with, but the first-team district running back, linebacker, and kicker for Pike Valley, leading those Panthers to a 4-5 record. And a big part of their program the last 4 years, looking to make an impact here. Tyson stepping back, looking, floats it right side. Oh, almost picked off, but it goes off the helmet of Ricard. Incomplete. Is coming over from his safety possession. Lucas Kirk of Buckland about picked that one off and had some green grass in front of him if he did.
Yeah, I won't say between the two Pike Valley Panthers here today that Miles has the better hands between him and Andy, but also if Pike Valley would have just had somebody else, the things that Miles would have been able to do as a fullback, again, as we talked about Blaze Pear, a former Panther back in 16 and 17, when you've got 3 other guys that are running sub 12 seconds, 100-meter dashes, made Blaze's job real easy. He went on to play at Fort Hays, and all he had to do was just get in front of somebody and hit him and clear the way. And Miles, though, being the number one option, did not have that opportunity.
Usually better players make good players look even better. Here's a good team tackle from the west side there. It's a little flat pass to Carter Olson will be dropped for a loss. So now 3rd, 4th down upcoming for the East squad. It's going to be a 4th down and 9 from the west side of the field. We'll just about, we're going to call that at the 33-yard line as the West works left to right as we see it from Trojan Stadium in Beloit. 7:15 left to play in this first half. It's 20-0 in favor of the East Gold squad. Empty set formation here by Tyson. Spins to the left, single to the right. Drew Winters will go in motion right to left. He sets up the slot. Tyson looking back to pass. Steps up through the pressure, goes long toward the middle, little floater, incomplete, and the end zone. As J.D. Tyson, not the biggest man out there either, as he goes 5'8", 165, but got that one to the end zone, but a turnover on downs on the incomplete pass on the West East squad.
Yeah, that one intended for Jaden Grenier. Tyson just lost him that one up there, asking somebody to come and get it. Grenier diving out just a little bit short. But J.D. Tyson, not the biggest guy. Again, those stats, the best in the state as far as QBs are concerned at the 8-man level. Was also a heck of a basketball player. Their season ending this year to Clifton Clyde, the sub-state finals, after being ranked 5th in 1A Division I. And, the Burlingame Wildcats, I'm sure they have nothing good to say about the Twin Valley.
That I'm sure they don't. They had a rough go of it in both those sports here today. Here's going to be pressure up the middle. Quarterback gets out of it down the right side. That's going to be Lucas Kirk now running. Dives at the first down marker and picks up a few. But again, pressure in the backfield. I believe that was Trent Harden. It was for Frankfurt getting in there. And again, a big part of that Frankfurt team here the last couple of years. Wrecking ball on defense is what Mr. Sternad here written down for his stat on our little sheet here.
Yeah, according to Coach Anderson, unstoppable when he wanted to be. If he could have just had his motor going 100% of the time, all the time, no fatigue. I don't know if Axel would have been able to stop him.
It would have been tough if he would have been 100%. Of course, that Frankfurt defense we talk about, one kid here, Ty Smith, set the school record with 9 interceptions this year. So between Harden up front, Olson, and the rest of the squad, Frankfurt, good season as always. Here's a spin down right at the line of scrimmage. Who else but Ryland Bussing coming up with the stop for no gain.
Well, I'm glad Ryland stayed with the QB on that one because I thought the handoff to number 5, Travis Corby, on the read option there, went to him, and I thought Gold had him in the backfield. But Great pull there by Kirk.
Yeah, Gold had Kirby about 6 yards back. I think it's Braden Lawson, the nose guard there from Marmaton Valley, who just disrupted. And now a 3rd down and 10 for this West squad. Still trying to just get some offense rolling as we hit the 5:30 mark in this first quarter. East squad leading 20-0. 3rd down and 10. Quarterback back to drop, looking right. Lucas Kirk throws a deep ball right side, has a man. Good defense coming back, but heck of a catch. Just past the 30, going up and high-pointing that one. That's going to be Lincoln Schaefer of Greeley County, who went up over the top of Gentry McGee of Colony Crest, or excuse me, it was Dalton Garmin over there in defense. So already a second highlight catch by these receivers for both sides.
And that'll be the first completion on the day for the Green squad, going from Griffin to Schaefer, just their second passing attempt of the game. And first play of the game that has gone beyond 10 yards.
I was going to say they haven't had a very big explosive play. First one here, let's see if that gets this West squad rolling. It's out there into the East territory for the first time here today. Quarterback in the backfield with kind of a triangle set of running backs around him. It's going to be a sweep left side. Running back takes it, looking for some room. Does find a seam. Good little run up the middle there. Ryland Price of Dighton, 570, 160, found his way into the middle of that line. Picks up a good chunk of yardage. Rice coming from Dighton, of course, part of that 11-1 team. They fell to Victoria in sub-state 66-20. Of course, Victoria goes on to lose to Axel in the state championship game. With Rice, a solid first-team KWKL defensive line and second-team running back.
Yeah, a lot of leagues out there that I'm just not familiar with in western Kansas. Of course, about as far west as I go, Osborne, Victoria. La Crosse, Ellis, back in the days of Republic County, having to play them before they dropped down to 8-man.
Ooh, coming up for the big tackle, Eli Brocksterman will tackle the quarterback, Lucas Kirk, for a loss of 5 yards. And you see why Brocksterman is going to have a good chance at starting, and he starts his college career next year as he just smoked through the middle of that line for a TFL.
Kirk thought he had a chance, but as many players throughout the last 4 years thought they had against the Axel Eagles, Brocksterman quickly shutting down that idea in the backfield.
I had to make a joke earlier this season, saw him for the first time at TVL basketball, different sport, but he was wearing a different jersey, and I had to ask Coach James Shaughnessy why that is. He said, well, he put on about 20 pounds to play linebacker at the college level, and you can see it, but Brocksterman still fleet as split as just about anyone in the 8-man class. 3rd down and long now, incomplete pass is looking for the flat here near side, in and out of the hands of Kyler Murray. So now a 4th down and 14 upcoming for this West squad. What do you think we do here, Jesse? Their first time in opponent territory?
Well, at this point, 3 minutes left before the half, not wanting things to get out of hand. You're already down by 3 scores. Don't really have anything left to lose. It was Trent Harton on the QB pressure there is why I was thinking Frankfurt. But again, this would be one of the longest fields that Yellow would have to deal with so far today. So, yeah, just go ahead and go for it. They got 50 yards to drive if you don't convert this, so see what happens.
Yeah, it's an all-star game. Throw everything out the window. In the shotgun formation will be Lucas Kirk. Receiver right, motions left, makes a trip left side. Ball on the right hash. Kirk looking back fast. Pressure up the middle as always. Kirk rolls right, throws off his back foot. Floater incomplete. And again, that pressure up front. Defensive line. Eli Brocksterman was there along with Timmy Roberts of Burlingame and big number 56, Braden Lawson of Marmaton Valley. Forced that pressure as Kirk just had to get out, and a second turnover on downs for this West side.
So that's 2 QB hurries, 2 tackles, 1 sack for Lawson. Somehow here I'm getting my stat sides mixed up, but it's all fine now. At least I know everybody's on the same page.
It's taken us about a quarter to get everything squared away here, and we're finally making it work.
I don't know about that. Like I said, I'm pretty sure it's going to take me till game number 2 here to finally get back in the swing of football here and keeping track of stats as good as I'm able to. This will be Wizo on the run for about 4 yards.
And again, just a halfback kind of, not even off, but just a read option in the backfield between J.D. Tyson and Loizo. And Loizo has been working up the middle. First, no offense, I don't think I'd want to tackle 6'2", 200 coming at me full speed either.
No, you wouldn't. And Lane Loizo, 43 yards rushing so far. He leads everybody. And just the fact that Lane's been able to get the ball moving after the first couple of series went
Been very impressive. Second down now and 7 to go. 2:30 left to play in this first half. Gold leading 20-0. Tyson, deep shot here near side, has a man outrun him. Oh, passes about 3 inches too far. As good diving effort, Dane Winters of Burlingame just couldn't quite catch up to it. Of course, that Tyson to Winters connection led to over 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns this season, and were co-offensive players in Lyon County, and you saw the connection there just a little bit too far.
Yeah, one thing, Coach Slater, very, very happy with that duo here the last 4 years. Pair of cousins, and obviously led to a lot of great success knowing what the other one was going to be doing. And Dane Winters, again, one of the best wideouts in the state.
And, of course, Winters, a lot of connection there to the Frankfort communities that kind of made that game there back at postseason so interesting. Tyson looking, a little screen down in the middle. Winters will bowl over a defender, picks up a first down just past midfield up to the 35-yard line.
As that's going to be Winters' fourth catch of the day. He's got 24 yards receiving so far. Leading the Gold team is Lane Loiza with 68 yards off of just 4 catches as well. Lane, one of the 3 pass catchers here today for the Gold team.
First down and 10 to go, just under 2 minutes here before half. Ball at 34-yard line, near side hash. Tyson looking back to pass, lefty swing pass, left side, almost picked off by the defensive end who walked out there. George Von Leonrod of Dighton got his hands up there, but couldn't quite force that incompletion, or did force the incompletion.
So Von Leonrod there, 6 foot, 200 pounds, plays defensive line. And again, one time I've seen a defensive lineman with, I think it was 2 interceptions in one game, but not too often do you have a D lineman with this many PDs in a contest. But also when you're good enough, athletic enough to be playing quarterback, speaks for itself.
That kind of happens like it does. Here's a pass up the middle, caught, completes, rolls through a defender, big first down inside the red zone. That's going to go to Jaden Grenier. I'll get that name by the end of it.
One of these days.
One of these days.
But back-to-back 15-yard passes there for J.D. Tyson as he sits right now at 200 yards. He's averaging 11.8 per completion. As far as incomplete passes go, just 4 of them on the day.
Looking to pass again here. Looking left, now steps up. Looking for some help from a line. Now we'll step off and run. He's past the line of scrimmage, throws it, and we're going to have a penalty as Tyson was about 3 yards downfield. Third penalty coming up here today between both of these squads.
The pressure there on the quarterback, that was Caden Redburn of Wheatland Grinnell. And again, one of the big men, the few big men, as he checks in, 6'2", 260. I believe that makes him the heaviest player, second heaviest player here today on the field. The biggest man, of course, coming up in the Division I game, that will be Zachary Kraft of Kinsley at 6'3", 280.
Like we said, they're not a lot of size, though, compared to some years anyway. Now, second down and 15 upcoming for this East squad. Trips will be to the left. Winters in the shotgun as he has been all day. Winters looking back to pass. Fakes the screen. Now steps up. He slips through somehow. Picks up positive yardage. Gets out too close to the original line of scrimmage where he will be dropped as we hit 65 seconds left in this first half.
I don't know if they just dumped a bottle of baby oil on him or if he's just that hot and sweaty already, but I don't have any idea how the heck he got through that.
I don't either. He was dead to rights from the 3 rushing linemen and somehow sneaked through that line. Goes to show he was an all-state quarterback, to say the least. Now, third down and 11 to go officially. Ball on the left hash. Winters 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Loiza will sneak out of the backfield. Winters looking right. Now he steps up again, looking to run. He's going to pick up positive yardage inside the 10 down to the 9. We're going to have a timeout from the Gold team, and that will give us a quick 60-second break. So we're going to take those 60 seconds. We'll be right back to the 8-man All-Star Radio Network.
For affordable housing, contact the Hanover Housing Authority in Hanover, Kansas. Proudly serving the Hanover community, Hanover Housing Authority offers 1- and 2-bedroom apartments for rent. The apartments are part of a property with a laundry facility, office, commons area, and maintenance shop. The apartments are clean, safe, and affordable and are located close to schools, businesses, and churches in the Hanover community. Hanover Housing Authority does not discriminate tenants. For more information, contact 785-337-2692.
Have an accident with your vehicle? Call Moonlight Restoration and they'll take care of you with a free estimate, and they'll turn it into the insurance company for you. You name it, they can do it. Fender benders, auto and tractor restoration, windshield repair or replacement, sandblasting, no job is too large or too small for Moonlight Restoration. If you want quality work done by skilled technicians, call Moonlight Restoration in Axtell, Kansas. Owned and operated by Brett and Nikki Runnebaum. Call 736-2359.
30 seconds here until halftime. The D2 East squad in scoring possession at the 10-yard line. Play will be run up the middle. Loizo going to work his way inside the 5 down to the 4. And Clark's going to keep rolling here. Oh, clock stopped. There it goes. So first and goal now, as we did reset the change, 20 seconds, and now we are going to have a stoppage and play timeout for the East squad. West squad. We're going to keep it right here as East looks to put up another score here before halftime.
Well, see, I'm trying to think. I know they've burned 1. I want to say they've burned 2, so yeah, I don't think there's any timeouts left for the Gold.
I think both sides burned their 2 earlier in the game, so I think we're both out of timeouts.
So Green doing East a favor, or at least just try to figure out what the heck they can do to stop them from the 5. And do you go to Loizo here once again, short distance, or see what J.D. Tyson can do through the air?
I'm going to let J.D. Tyson play a little run ball. I mean, that's what you've been doing all day. I think a good play there on that halfback option. I think the West squad was looking for the pass on the play before, so give it to Loizo up the middle. But here, we mentioned it earlier, how slippery J.D. Tyson has been today. So just let your All-State quarterback try and make something happen and have some fun. You know, and at the end of the day, that's what we're here for, a little fun. We are here to win, but let's have some fun, too.
Well, if you're Eli Brockman, I feel you're here to win.
Well, yeah, that is true, yeah. Yeah, if you're the Axtell Eagle 3 boys, you might be here to win. And big credit to them, too. We didn't mention it earlier, but offensive line for this East squad, Zach Oswald and Parker Hyde to go along with Dalton Heinen has completely controlled this offensive line for the Gold side. So hats off to those boys up front making it work. Of course, Heinen, one of those Eagles, a big part of their success over the last couple of years, not only on the football field, but also the track. So here we go. First down and goal to go from the 5-yard line. 20 seconds here until half, 20-point lead for the East squad. Tyson back to pass. Looking right, swings it in the middle, pop, and touchdown, as it will be Carter Olson picking up his second touchdown of the day.
Well, I was going to be bragging about Dalton Heinen there. This long line of Axtell Eagle offensive linemen that they just keep producing. Doesn't matter how big they are when they graduate them, they seem to always find somebody to step into that role, step up, and show out, and make whoever's playing quarterback that year for the Eagles look pretty darn good. 26-0 our score, 14 seconds left. As the Gold squad is lining up for the 2-point conversion, back in the huddle, they'll break from that and step up to the extra point line.
All Gold squad so far here in this one. They're trying to put a cap on this first half, which has been absolutely dominated by the East squad. Tyson will be in the shotgun, trips right side in a triangle. Now Winters will go in motion. We're going to look option. Now we're going to look middle. Winters steps up, looks for him, throws it across his body, and it's good as somehow he found Jaden Grenier.
Just waited. Grenier on the backside and knew what he was supposed to be doing. Couldn't dart through the middle like I was expecting Tyson to do, and 2-point conversion was good, and now it's 28. Is it 20? Okay.
Yep. We're working on our math here a little bit, but one of those plays, we see it so much in the TV, and I'm sure you're starting to see it too, but kind of like those tight end screens that come across the middle, quarterback step back. I think that's what the East squad was looking for, but a good job by the defense to shut that off. So, Tyson just making some magic happen, finding his man for the 2-point conversion. It is all East squad here in this first half. Again, coming up here at halftime, don't go anywhere. We'll take a 2-minute break when the halftime comes. We'll come back here, chat a little bit about stats and scores with another break in there, and then we're going to take a timeout too at some point along the way for national news and weather possibly as we get rolling here on this beautiful Saturday.
Yeah, not as cloudy as it could be. And again, for whichever team is defending the west side of the stadium here, they'd much rather the sun just go away. And same thing when we get to the afternoon game. We'll see, though, as the Green looking into the sun right now. Low kick by Loizo. And away the West squad goes.
Taking right about the 5-yard line. There's some seam right side. Does not get past Loizo. Does get past Loizo. Tripped up at the 40 there. That was Kyler Murray. Show that explosiveness and big play for the West squad.
Bad news there for Kyler Murphy. Burned a total of 8 seconds off the clock. leaves the Green team with just 6 seconds to work before half. So one final play. 2 if you get a quick incompletion here for whoever's lining up at QB for the Green to close out this first half.
And did forget here, of course, not used to this, but you are listening to the 8-Man All-Star Radio Network on KNDY FM Marysville, KREP FM in Belleville, and KDNS FM Cawker City, Glen Elder, and Beloit. So as Jesse mentioned, 6 seconds here for the West squad. Let's see what they can get just short of midfield. And go 2 receivers left, 1 to the right, and a timeout burned by the West squad. Well, I guess our math wasn't right then earlier because we thought West was out of timeouts.
No, they didn't have as many plays sitting on the line, time winding down, that they had to kill as the Gold did. So Green, one final chance, figure out what you're going to do. But, of course, you do that with the clock stopped here. Now this will be the final play, most likely. You don't have time to stop the clock if you get sacked, if you get a 2-yard rush, something like that, to be able to have one final chance. So interesting choice by Coach Powell. We'll see if it works out for him.
And, of course, not college or some upper-level high school, so we're not looking for kicks either or field goals. We're looking for touchdowns here in this one, so let's see what we can get done. Like Jesse mentioned, too, is D1, Division I that had a high-scoring game last year, 50-42. D2, a little low-scoring, 28-14, but right on path for that one here in our contest.
Well, maybe not here in this Division II game, but I know D1, we have one All-State kicker, at least honorable mention, and I believe there was another All-State kicker listed as well from all my notes. So between Oliver Nobert and whoever that other mystery gentleman is, we could see something.
We could see some field goals. We could see some extra points. We don't know what we're going to see yet. That's what I've kind of been surprised about. No trick plays yet here early in this first half. Must be holding that for the second half.
Yeah, well, besides that, reverse end around on a reversal. Yeah, nothing too tricky yet.
Nothing working out too well. It's going to be the West squad, again, just short of midfield. 6 seconds on the clock. Let's play this first half as they trail this one 28-0. Shotgun formation, quarterback back to pass, pressure up the middle from Brocksterman. He's going to be flung down for a sack, coming up with a big sack there for the East squad. That'll be Braden Lawson from Marmonton Valley. The 6'2", 200-pound defensive lineman comes in and closes down this half with a demonstrative sack.
And if Lawson would have got him, Eli Brocksterman is right there behind him.
I was going to say, there's 2 or 3 East players right there for him to drop him for that loss. That's going to end our first half of action here in the Division II 8-Man All-Star game from Trojan Field in Beloit. Your halftime score, it is the East squad leading 20-0. We're going to take a 2-minute break. When we come back, we'll get ready for stats and recaps of this first half. But again, it is the 8-Man Division II East squad leading the West squad 28-0 here at halftime. We're going to take a 2-minute break. You are listening to the 8-Man All-Star Radio Network.
Bremen Farmers Mutual Insurance, providing high-quality coverage and service, all at a competitive premium cost. Since 1888, Bremen Farmers Mutual has offered homeowner, farm owner, business owner, fire, and inland marine coverage. Dependable and affordable. See your local agent representing Bremen Farmers Mutual Insurance. Learn more about the various insurance products offered by going online at bfmic.com.
The State Bank in Axtell is synonymous with quality and integrity in the banking business. Financing for your home, for your farm, or your small business. Contact the loan officers if you need money, or if you're putting money away for something special, or just saving for a rainy day. Visit with the professionals at the State Bank of Axtell. They're federally insured, member FDIC, the State Bank of Axtell.
Call Parthimer Electric at 268-0553. At Parthimer Electric, we specialize in residential and commercial electrical services and are dedicated to providing customer service that is second to none. Parthimer Electric won't leave the job until you're satisfied. Parthimer Electric is available at all hours and offers flexible services for indoor or outdoor jobs. You can visit us on the web at the Parthimer Electric Facebook site or give us a call at 268-0553. Parthimer Electric in Frankfort.
See Andy Bruna at Andy's Hardware and Lumber in Hanover for a full line of your everyday hardware needs and all the building supplies you'll need to get the job done right. Just about anything you might need around the farm or home is found at Andy's, and always fast, friendly service when you need it. It just makes good sense to shop at Andy's Hardware and Lumber in Hanover, Kansas, a Plyout Wildcat Booster. That's Andy's Hardware and Lumber in Hanover.
And welcome back to the 8-man All-Star game from Trojan Field in Beloit. Max Blasky here with you, along with Jesse Sternat on this beautiful Saturday. Still morning, right? Yeah, we got 45 minutes until noon. First half recap, it's going to be the East squad leading 28-0 in this contest. Game started out in the first quarter. Took a little time for each team to get their footing, no pun intended. We'll get into that here in a little bit. First score went over to the East squad. It was a 45-yard pass from J.D. Tyson to Frankfurt's Carter Olson, making it 6-0 at the 9:30 mark. After a punt from the west side, it was a 15-yard pass from Tyson to Lane Loizo, Frankfurt Wildcats, making it 12-0, just start of the second quarter. After a fumble on the first play from the west side, the east side took it down and scored again as they scored on 3 straight possessions to start this contest. This time it was J.D. Tyson to number 3, Jaden Grenier, for the 25-yard touchdown pass. 2-point conversion was good as Tyson found Olson, making it 20-0. And then with 14 seconds left in the half, Tyson found Carter Olson for his second touchdown of the day. This one a 5-yard TD. 2-point conversion was good as Tyson found Grenier again, making it 28-0 at half. And I think most notable stat out of the team stats early on, Jesse, in this one, let me see if it gets right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 possessions for the West squad, 2 punts, 2 turnovers on down, and a fumble. Let's not get just finding any traction here early in this one.
No, 38 yards of offense so far, just 3.8 yards per play. And honestly, at this point, I think, excuse me. Oh, shoot, I forgot one. Okay, no.
We'll give you a little time to get into that one here in a little bit.
Yeah, that last play that they were able to...
Oh, yeah.
I didn't write that one down.
Yeah.
So under 75 yards of offense. So ignoring that last play, at this point I think they've got more kick return yards than they do offense.
And they might have more penalty yards, no offense, right now than they have offenses. We've seen a few from both sides. We mentioned it in the opening. Of course, 6 All-State selections for the West squad this year. Very good. 13, though, from the East squad. And I don't know what kind of numbers that is, but that's got to be awfully close to the record, of course, led by the state champion Axtell Eagles, Dalton Highland, Ryland Bussing, and Eli Brockshman, making names of themselves here in this one. Not like they need to already, though.
Yeah, no, as one thing, Max, it's been kind of fun here and talking to the boys, talking to Coach Detweiler. And one of these days I'm going to get to look it up just so I can be sure to be the first one to brag about it. But as far as careers go for these Axtell Eagles, 4 football titles, 3 track titles, 1 basketball championship, 1 third-place finish, 1 fourth-place finish.
Mm-hmm.
I know Smith Center, of course, holds the all-time Kansas winning record for 7 years undefeated.
Yep.
And you've got Andale, who I believe 56-0 at one point during their run. But the thing is, Now, again, I just haven't looked up the numbers on Smith Center because I know you had Norton at the time, or Norton competing for state points. Hoxie, of course, I don't think had quite gotten things rolling yet. But I don't know that Smith Center was winning every state wrestling meet. I don't know that they were winning every state track meet. Same for Andale. I know the football team, of course, was the scariest thing on earth with their triple option. And gosh, the one time I got to see that in person against Concordia was a thing of beauty as far as the run game is concerned. I know their track teams were good, or at least they had some of the best throwers in the entire state, multiple guys that went on Division I, Division II. But I don't remember ever hearing anything about Andale wrestling. But Axtell.
Yeah.
These guys, as far as the 4-year span goes, potentially the greatest athletic run in the entire state. Not just 8-man, not 11-man, everyone. And I know you've got people out there that say, well, it's 8-man football, so that doesn't really count. But still, you're playing the level that you have. And then when you combine the fact that everybody loves to say, because they're idiots and don't know how the world works or how the world is, that thinks Axtell needs to be forced up to 11-man. That one's always a really fun comment to see.
Yeah, that was a fun one to try to deal with.
So you're going to take the smallest school that plays 8-man and make them play 11-man.
Yeah, exactly. It's been a heck of a run for the Eagles, and I'm sure they'll get going here in just a little bit. We're going to take a timeout, though. When we come back, we are going to recap this first half, and I'm sure chat a little bit more Eagles as this day goes along. We're going to take a 2-minute timeout. Again, you're listening to the 8-Man All-Star Radio Network.
When starting any project around your home, you want prices that are reasonable and advice you can trust. From finding the right lighting fixture or plumbing piece to drawing up plans for a full remodel or new build, the knowledgeable staff at Hometown Lumber in Marysville and Axtell Lumber are here for you. Stop in Monday through Saturday or visit axtellumber.com to see what they can offer. With all your building needs and options to fix any budget, your partner from start to finish is Hometown Lumber in Marysville and Axtell Lumber.
When agricultural conservation work is needed on your farm, call Barry Bussing with Bussing Construction in Axtell, offering dozer services on terrace and waterways. Improve the value and resourcefulness of your farmland. Contact Barry Bussing today at 785-799-5205 for conservation work that'll build better practices for the future. That's Bussing Construction of Axtell, 785-799-5205.
Not everyone's going to become a Lennox dealer, so you'll be glad to know when you buy a Lennox from Hanover Electric Incorporated, you not only get the best products in the business, you also get a tradition of experience in making sure your home is as comfortable as it can be. Because every independent Lennox dealer must pass the Lennox Quality Dealer Standards Program, the toughest test in the industry. And what it means is you get a dealer you could always count on. Lennox, one less thing to worry about.
At Sump Ag, our goal is to serve the farmer and run a business that honors God. With honesty and integrity, we strive to serve our customers so that they may grow the best crops possible. We have a strong lineup of leading corn and soybean seed genetics, including LG, Zytavo, and others. In addition to seed, get knowledgeable chemical advice and competitive prices to protect your crops. Talk to Jonathan at Sump Ag today about your seed and chemical needs. Call 785-386-8521.
Back here with you on the 8-Man All-Star Radio Network. Max Blasky here at KNDY in Marysville. Jesse Sturdad to my left at KREP in Belleville. Jesse, we mentioned it, 28-0 our score at halftime. It's been all East squad. Looking at stats a little bit more, I think you mentioned Lane Loiza's having himself a good day. And, of course, the defense doing well, too, for the East.
Yeah, Lane so far the only rusher above 10 yards.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
J.D. Tyson second on that list with 9 yards rushing when you take out his losses and sacks. But so far for rushing, as far as the green team is concerned there in the West, Lucas Kirk leading the way for, well, not the Red Aces, but for the West team with 6 yards rushing.
And I think, too, offensively, we've seen it. Carter Olson with 2 touchdown catches already. Lane Loiza with 1. Again, I don't want to reiterate the fact just because it's who I'm familiar with, but you're seeing the TVL really showing out here in this one.
And I'm not sure what league Marmaton Valley is in. The Three Rivers League. There with Mr. Braden Lawson. Of course, they got blanked by Frankfort in the second round. So I'm sure Braden here, one of those guys that's very thankful he's getting to play with those guys that beat him in his career. And you look at the defensive side of the ball between him and Eli and Loizo and Olson, and it's a pretty darn good D.
Lawson's going to get used to that east side of the state as he's going to go to Highland, too, next year to play for the football. So it's been a lot on the east side so far. I know you mentioned west side. Not a whole lot of stats, right, so far, getting blanked 28-0.
So after I added in that last play, a total of 68 yards for the green team. Wyatt Griffin, 60 yards throwing so far. He's averaging 10 yards a catch, but he just doesn't have the time to get anywhere. And if he does, he's rolling out, pressured. As we mentioned, Braden Lawson, he's got 2 QB hurries on the day, 2 sacks. Just an absolute monster there on the defensive line. Is not quite built like edge posts. And looking at him, if he's only 200 pounds, I would be shocked. I'd be more willing to say 240 just the way he's built. But, of course, one roster saying he's 6'4", one roster saying he's 6'2". So, the 200-pound thing could be wrong, too. And at this point, he could weigh 220, 240. I'm not sure what he did basketball and track season. So maybe he, just decided, well, I'm going to get big for Highland, because if I were to guess, he's probably playing D-line for Highland.
I would think so by the time they get over there.
But on the other hand, he does have 77 career touchdowns and 4,500 yards of passing. So,
heck of an athlete at the end of the day. Can kind of put him anywhere, pretty versatile. A lot of these kids are, too, and that's what makes this All-Star game so great.
And then the fact that 2,400 rushing yards in his career as well. And you talked about big quarterbacks earlier, Max. Hadley Gillum was a D2 All-American at Fort Hays, a basketball player. Was about 6'6", 6'7", 220, 230 pounds in college. Of course, Hayden Gillum going on to play offensive line for the Kansas State Wildcats. Older brother Hadley, though, played QB in high school. And my gosh, that was just not fun.
Pretty amazing to see that one run down the track. I'm sure we'll have more stories when second half gets back. We're going to take another 2-minute break, though. Take a break for national news and weather. We'll be back in 2 minutes. You're listening to the 8-Man All-Star Radio Network.
If your vehicle is looking like it just went through a muddy rally race, or perhaps it's been target practice for the neighborhood bird gang, then you need to get your car washed today at the Axtell Car Wash. The Axtell Car Wash has 2 enclosed self-service bays, even one size for semi-tractors. Just pull in, pay with your bank card, and wash all the dirt, mud, bugs, and bird stuff off your vehicles. You don't have to drive far to get a clean car. Just visit the Axtell Car Wash, proud supporter of the Axtell Eagles.
Most hailstorms last 3 to 5 minutes. In that time, Mother Nature can deal a crushing blow to your crops, your profits, and the future of your farming operation. Remove that risk with crop hail coverage from Blue Valley Insurance. Our crop hail policies provide protection against physical damage from hail, and our wind coverage ensures a safety net in case of damaging winds and tornadoes. Blue Valley Insurance in Lynn, Greenleaf, Hanover, and Marysville.
Every week, stay informed and connected with the Frankfort community top stories by getting the Frankfort Area News, a small-town newspaper dedicated to their subscribers, advertisers, and community. Established in 1991, the Frankfort Area News is the official paper of the City of Frankfort, City of Vermilion, and USD 380. They love hearing from their readers. If you have a story, wedding, birth, or something you think local readers would enjoy, or to subscribe, get in touch with the Frankfort Area News, 785-292-4726.
If your car says, I need fixed, call on Little Joe's Service in Axtell to fix it right. From routine maintenance to repairs of all types, Joe can serve your needs. Fast, friendly, and down-to-earth service with satisfied customers from all over the area. Turn to Little Joe's 66th Service in Axtell for any automotive repair needs. Proud supporters of the Axtell community, it's Little Joe's Service.
As always, a big thank you to our sponsors that you're hearing today on KNDY, KREP, and KDNS across our 8-Man All-Star Radio networks. It's 28-0 here at halftime in the Class 1A Division II 8-Man All-Star game. And this one, of course, coming up here in a little bit later this afternoon, starting at 1:30, we're going to have the Class 1A Division I squad squaring off between the East and West Some Clifton Clyde Eagles. Who else do we have in the Division I are we looking for here in this one, Sternad?
Cooper McDill from Rock Hills, and that is it as far as my area guys go. You've got Cade Brooks from Sylvan Lucas, Ethan Ehring from Lincoln, and then, as far as all of our listening areas combined go, that is it.
That pretty much does it. So stick around here. Coming up about 1:30 will be the kickoff of that. We're going to start about 1, I believe, with pregame. We're going to take our final time out of half for national news. When we come back, it'll be second half action here on the 8-Man All-Star Radio Network.
As a farmer, you know you can never have too many tools. And when it comes to risk management, there's one vitally important tool: crop insurance. Your Rain and Hail independent agent can help you use crop insurance as a risk management tool to protect your business. To learn about the insurance tools available, call your local SBS insurance agent. You'll get crop insurance service from an agent that will help you protect what matters most. This agency is an equal opportunity provider and employer.
Western National Bank in Summerfield wants you to feel good about where you are with your money. Available when you need them and offering online and personal services, Western National Bank will make sure to keep you and your money happy. Call Western National Bank at 244-6211 to make your money smile. Member FDIC.
And we are back here in Beloit, Kansas, Trojan Field. Max Blasky with KNDY in Marysville. Jesse Sternad with KREP in Belleville next to me here as we get second half action going. If you're just joining us, this is the East Gold Squad leading 20-0. The West Side started with the ball here. They had a penalty on their first play and a tackle for loss on their second. So now that brings up a 3rd down and 14. Their own side of the field, and Jesse in the second half started kind of like the first half went for the West squad so far.
Yeah, not really getting anything going, and same way as we ended that first half, you've got Braden Lawson, all sorts of pressure from the middle.
3rd down and 13, quarterback takes it from the shotgun, looking right, snapped, fumble, ball's loose, diving for it. It should be Gold's ball, and I believe it will be. A second turnover for downs. Coming up with the ball was Rylan Bussing of Axtell, and he might have been the one that forced it, too, from the backside.
Well, big hand up there from Mr. Braden Lawson, so I'm not sure if Lawson had anything to do with it, but yeah, Rylan there from the D end, Lawson at the D tackle, all that pressure forcing Griffin out to his right and then gets hit from behind, looking downfield or just looking for the quick out and nothing there. So second turnover of the day by the green, and short field once again for the gold.
Short field for the gold. They'll start just outside the red zone, slant pattern middle, now walloped to the ground after that reception. It was Dane Winters that came up with the catch. Big tackle there from Connor Fowler of Fairfield. But now we have a penalty on the play.
Looks like holding on the gold team as they tried to keep J.D. Tyson alive, and sometimes that is the sacrifice that you make.
I'll be remiss, Jesse, you found this stat for us for Fairfield here this season. They ended the year 4-5. They did lose to Victoria in first-round action of the state playoffs, but that was the first playoff appearance for Fairfield in 29 years. Their second all-time, as those boys from Fairfield, Connor Fowler, and where did the second one go? Garrett Lanning of the D2 West squad getting nods here today.
Yeah, just because it might not end the best of the year by some people's standards. Again, Axel being the gold standard for that. 4-5, a lot better than 0-9.
Here's a little halfback draw in the middle. Olsen breaks 2 tackles, gets to the outside, picks up yardage almost back to the original line of scrimmage. Tried to run a little halfback draw there. Quarterback kind of got lost in the backfield. J.D. Tyson, good defensive pressure from the front line, but then just kind of flipped it into Loizo, who was able to make something out of nothing, and that's kind of been Loizo's MO all season. Of course, Lane going on to MATC down in Manhattan, not getting an opportunity to play football. I'm sure someone would have given him an offer, but sometimes that happens in college sports. Trying to make a name, maybe. Someone picks him up here late in the summer. It's going to be a second down now and 12. Loizo sneaks out right. Tyson over the middle, has a man. Carter Olsen, touchdown, East Squad. A 22-yard strike from number 8, J.D. Tyson, to number 33, Carter Olson, as that will be Olson's third touchdown here today.
So again, short field, and the East squad making no time at all. That drive lasted about 36 seconds as they'll line up here, 2-point conversion. J.D. Tyson out there hollering the play, and see if we can convert another as we get closer and closer to something that we're not going to talk about.
Tyson in the shotgun here, 2-point. It's going to be doubles left and right, stack formation, man in motion left to right. We'll take the handoff. That's going to be number 20, Eli Brockstrom, into the end zone. 2-point conversion is good there for the West squad. So that makes this game 36-0 in favor of the D2 East squad. We're going to take a 60-second break. You're listening to the 8-Man All-Star Radio Network.
Flint Hills Mechanical is a call away for your plumbing work, heating, and air conditioning. Backed up or won't drain? Call Flint Hills Mechanical. New and existing plumbing work, plus heating and air conditioning, as well as custom sheet metal service. Call on Flint Hills Mechanical. Find them on Facebook or give them a shout at 785-313-0103. Flint Hills Mechanical, Frankfort.
Axtell Truss has the experience to provide custom-built trusses for any application. Put them to work with your next project. Let them help design the right pitch, length, and number of trusses to suit your needs. They can turn out more complicated designs and configurations as well. All are solidly built in their enclosed shop with roll-off delivery to your site available. They also assure the best materials and quality construction, completed on your schedule. Call today for a quote or more information at 785-736-2291. That's Axtell Truss.
D2 East squad running away with this 8-man all-star game from Beloit. Beautiful Trojan Field here on a beautiful Saturday afternoon. Glad to have you all along here. Of course, we mentioned it a little bit ago, but stay tuned to your respective affiliates as we'll have the Division I game coming up. Start time about 1:30. Kickoff will be about 1 on that one. But it's all D2 East here in this one. Carter Olson of Frankfort already with 3 touchdown receptions here in this game. Had to look up real quick. The record is 6 touchdowns set back in 2022. So Carter's got a little ways to go for that one, but it's been the Frankfort Wildcats that have 4 touchdowns for this East offense here today. West will start way back in their own side of the end zone, about the 15-yard line. A little screen pass right side as Eli Brockstrom pops the receiver, Hazen Reisquist, right out of bounds.
Well, Andy failing to break down on that one, then gets stiff-armed for the 6-yard gain to Reisquist, but unfortunately playing cleanup is the best defensive player in the state of Kansas.
Defense stays the same for this East squad up front. It's going to be Braden Lawson of Marmaton Valley, Trent Harden of Frankfort near side, Timmy Roberts of Burlingame linebacker position. It will be Andy Cooper of Pike Valley, Eli Brockstrom of Axtell, Miles Ricard of Pike Valley, and in the defensive back position, Dalton Garman of Osborne, Andrew Conrad of Lebo out in the secondary for the D2 East squad. Here's going to be a fumble, but the West squad will jump back onto it as a bad pitch.
And Trent Harden with the QB pressure there as, who we get? Is it Griffin playing QB still, or is it switch back to Buckland with Mr. Kirk?
I think it's still Mr. Kirk, Lucas Kirk back there. Yep, number 15 still back there for Buckland on the West squad.
So Trent Harden lighting up his world, pitches it away, of course, timing there way, way off, and the running back with, I believe that was Reisquist, lucky to get on that one, otherwise it would be gold ball at the 15.
Mentioned Trent Harden there for Frankfort, 19 sacks, which is tops in Frankfort school history. So we mentioned him, we mentioned Olson, mentioned Loizo. That's without mentioning the junior quarterback, who I'm sure probably see here next year. Here's going to be a little screen pass out to the outside. That's going to be Kyler Murray who brings it in. Eli Brockstrom was first man there, but Murray hit the ground on the wet grass, natural grass still here in Beloit. He's going to be dropped down on a 3rd and 6, now down to a 4th and 2.
And, of course, the grass getting ripped up here as soon as the final whistle sounds, as we can see all that construction equipment on the south side of the stadium. And I'm sure those boys are ready to go at it.
It looks like a big wall of equipment ready to walk on down this way. We've got a timeout here from the East squad, so we're going to head and take a 60-second timeout. We will be back in 60 seconds. You're listening to the 8-Man All-Star Radio Network.
Sapp Brothers Petroleum works hard to be there for you when it matters most. Their goal is simple: to be your number one source of propane, lubricants, and extreme premium diesel fuel. And they'll reach that goal by treating you like family and giving you service that makes you want to come back. Proudly serving Kansas with locations at Blue Rapids and Hanover, Sapp Brothers thanks all of their current customers. If you're not a current customer, call the winning team at Sapp Brothers locations in Blue Rapids and Hanover today for all of your propane and fuel needs.
Main Street Market in Hanover is a proud supporter of all Wildcat athletics. Stay up to date on all the new deals, sales, and more by visiting their Facebook page. Stop by and check out everything they have for your next gathering, family event, or game day. When holidays roll around, don't fret. Main Street Market has you covered. Sure to have everything you need to keep the family full and happy. That's the Main Street Market, downtown Hanover, your local hometown grocery store.
Well, let's see if that timeout lights a fire underneath the West squad here. They've got a 4th down and 2 from about their own 20-yard line. It's going to be on 22-yard line here. Still being scoreless here, 36-0 our score. Looking for some positive play. It's going to be a running back draw. Up the middle there is a 1st down, and probably maybe not the longest play because we saw one earlier, but solid pickup there for the running back, number 11, Ryland Price of Dighton. Coming up with a big 1st down there, and that's going to keep this train moving for the East squad. Again, game started off a little slow with a drop kickoff at the beginning. Some wet grass made it a little slippery. It took us till about the 9-minute mark in the first quarter to see our first score for the East side, but it was a big one, a 45-yard pass from J.D. Tyson to Carter Olson, and since then it's been all East side as they lead this one 36-0, playing 7:40 left here in this third quarter. Shotgun snap, it's going to be a pitch left side, taken by the running back, trying to find the edge. Gets a little bit of breathing room, keeps going towards the sideline. I think we've got a late flag coming in as Ryland Price is the one that got that run again, and we do have a hold on the East side, so unfortunately... or West Side, excuse me. So unfortunately for head coach Trevor Powell of Buckland, he just hasn't been able to get his offense working here in this contest.
And Max, that thing we were discussing off air, we have been close, but it's never been done.
It's never, okay.
So depending on what Coach Powell decides to do here, not Coach Powell, Coach McManus, or McCunis, excuse me.
Yeah.
We could be witnessing history.
We could see a few things here coming up a little bit.
We could. As again, I want to remind you folks, the score 36-0, just 4.5 minutes into this second half.
And I can mention it now because I got called out, but it's kind of like a no-hitter in baseball. You don't mention it, right? You just kind of hint at it, then people know what's going on.
Yeah, well, you can talk about the no-hitter, just don't talk about the other thing.
We'll not talk about that thing. Here comes a 1st down play now after that hold, so it's 1st down and 20 to go. It's going to be quarterback up the middle, but nowhere to go as the defensive pairing, I believe that was Trent Harden and Eli Brockstrom, came up to stop that play dead in its tracks.
They don't move the stick, so I guess we can't officially count it as a tackle for loss, but...
might as well been.
Yeah, well, when you're backed up 2nd and 20...
Yeah.
Well, 2nd and 23, excuse me.
2nd and 23 now. Now that play, too, is made here. Left defensive end, Timmy Roberts. We haven't said his name a lot from Burlingame, the 5'8", 180-pound defensive end. He was the one that got in the backfield there in that first time and allowed Harden and Brockstrom to come up and make those tackles. Again, just defensive domination by the front three of this East squad here in our 8-man Division II All-Star game. 6:40 left to play third quarter. It's going to be a 2nd down and 20 here from their own about 10-yard line. Quarterback draw up the middle, or halfback draw, up the middle. Running back take it. That will be Ryland Price as he stopped for a minimal gain.
maybe one, maybe two on that tackle and at linebacker. Miles Rickard, Eli Brocksterman, and looked like Ryland Bussing helping out there.
3rd and long here for the D2 Division West squad. They've been in this position quite a few times here so far this morning. Let's see if they've got a little trick play up their sleeve. Mentioned it. Haven't seen that yet here today. Kind of surprised, but maybe as we get here in the second half, we'll see something happen.
Yeah, not out of the green so far. That one halfback pass from Eli Brocksterman to, I believe, that was Dane Winters.
Yep.
For Burlingame, a 2-point conversion. So one so far.
One so far. That was a 2-yard halfback pass. So, yeah, that still counts. Still counts as trick play.
Yeah, 2 yards.
2 yards. Long 3rd down here. It's going to be pulled out on the play action and sacked in the backfield. Who else? Trent Harden in there along with Braden Lawson. Stomping the quarterback, Lucas Kirk, in the backfield.
So Lawson getting a hand on him. Harden playing their backup. And, again, this defensive front for the Gold team just unstoppable here between some of the best that the Twin Valley League has to offer, and then with Mr. Braden Lawson out of Marmaton Valley in the Three Rivers League. Here's going to be a punt from the green. Brocksterman back to receiving. He's just going to let it go.
Going to stop just short there of the 35-yard line, probably about 32 or so is where the East squad will get this for second possession of the second half going. I mean, want to mention it. Scores getting a little out of hand, and Eastside kind of dominating this one, but great seasons by a lot of these squads on the west side. Of course, Victoria, your state runners-up. Dighton fell in sub-state 11-1. Hutch Central Christian 9-2. Hodgman County 8-3. Buckland 9-1. Excellent years by a lot of these teams. But it's interesting, you mentioned it, how the TVL and on the east side especially, a lot of these teams, it says lost to Axtell, lost to Hanover, lost to Frankfort. In the last couple of years, it's kind of how she's gone.
On that carry, halfback dive to Miles Rickard, the handoff from Dane Winters, as we'll finally let somebody else besides Lane Loizo run the ball.
You know, I was kind of thinking that a little earlier. When do you pull your quarterbacks in an all-star game? When do you let someone else kind of start getting the ball? Is now about that time?
Well, I would say, as we said, history potentially about to be made here, depending on how hard on the throat the Gold wants to press it. So right now, Rickard getting a chance to run the ball, and he'll get another handoff as he bounces out wide to the left. Lots of green grass in front of him.
Good run there by Miles Rickard, but we've got a flag now. Hopefully that's not a block in the back from the Gold team, as Rickard doing a good job. You mentioned it. Rickard now back there and running back for Loizo. It looks like Dalton Heinen's still up there on the line. Carter Olson out there along with that Zach Oswald out at wide receiver position. It's still looking like Dane Winters out there to go along with Landon Sump of Blue Valley. But once this block in the back is going to be called. And holding. Wow. It's got a 2-for-1 there on that one. They're going to take the holding, walk back the east 10 more yards. That just might allow Coach Max McInnes to line some up from 35 yards out or so.
Yeah, well, Miles had a lot of room, and I guess that all being because everybody on that play was doing something illegal.
There's usually a reason if there's a hole that big that there was a holding or a block in the back, and in that case, there was both of them. So now we're going to do it again here. 2nd down and 19 to go from just inside midfield of the west side. 4:15 left to play in this third quarter. It's Division II East all over Division II West, 36-0 here in this contest. They led 28-0 at half and took their first position in for a touchdown. J.D. Tyson, deep across the middle, has a man off the hands. No, incomplete. Looking for his favorite target, Dane Winters, there, but just off of his hands, and again, incomplete.
Well, and I can say this back-to-back times, that hold that Miles had, if you'd had Loizo line in the backfield being one of the fastest kids, the fastest kid, well, no, I guess Carter is officially fast.
Yeah.
So if you'd have, Lane lined up there in the backfield, would have ran that in. The play that Miles got the holding call out, as Miles now going to be replaced by Mr. Loizo. In that case, Dane Winters only being 5'2", Carter Olson standing at 6'2", would have been a different story with a 4-inch difference. But here we are, 3rd and 17, 16 to go.
3rd and 16 to go from just inside midfield again. Empty set here for JD, as he looks back to pass, now rolls right, still looking for some help. He's going to be tracked down from behind. Sneaks out of another one, still going up to the original line of scrimmage. So a tough 6 yards earned there to make it 3rd down and 10.
As that takes literally half the green jerseys on the field to bring him down, and J.D. Tyson might be the shortest guy out there right now.
Yeah, I think you are right. Timmy Roberts, his teammate, goes 5'8". J.D. Tyson goes 5'8". Gentry McGee 5'8" too as well. But, without a doubt, seeing over some of these offensive linemen, Tyson, the lefty, doing a heck of a job for his squad. He's going to be back here in the shotgun now on a 4th down and 10 to go. Ball right at the 30-yard line. Tyson looking, lefty looking right. Now he's looking left. Backing up, throws it. Middle, towards the end zone, has a man. Caught, touchdown, East Squad. That will be J.D. Tyson to Jaden Grenier.
And kind of forgetting about him in the backfield was in the secondary was Rhett Katz, as Grenier was left wide open. All J.D. had to do was get out wide enough to his right to get the pass off. Credit there to Caden Redburn trying to get the pressure, but he was shut down by Zachary Oswald playing left tackle here for the Gold Squad, and we've got another 6 on the board for the Gold.
J.D. Tyson has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 touchdown throw, and if memory serves correct, I think that ties a record.
Well,
I had it pulled up touchdown passes 2 different times. So J.D. Tyson looking for one more in the record. His offense can get back out there. Here's a run up the middle.
Miles Ricker getting pulled down by his jersey as he reached for the goal line. They're going to say, though, he is inches short on the 2-point conversion.
Just short for the Pike Valley product, but it's all D2 East here in this one, leading 42-0, 3:14 left to play in the 3rd quarter. We will take a 60-second break. We'll be back in 60 seconds. You're listening to the 8-Man All-Star Radio Network.
From the ground up, Midwest Products Hanover can assist with concrete drives, parking, walks, entries, foundations, and support walls. Quality people help produce quality products, and you can rely on their crews for a job done right. Concrete plants at Hanover, Washington, and Clay Center. Midwest Products also haul rock, sand, and gravel. They have a crane for rent and can assist with site preparation. Start your next job with a call for a quote today from Midwest Products at Hanover. F&A Construction will build it right. Call today for a quick quote if you're building, remodeling, or adding on. Enjoy your home more and increase its value with F&A Construction. They'll tackle your every project to make sure it's done right. For complete construction services, call on F&A Construction today at 292-4692. That's 292-4692.
KNDY.
It is summertime. Sandlot getting ready to be played across TVs in America. One last football game, though, here on this beautiful Saturday. Again, Max Blasky, KNDY, Marysville, Jesse Sternat here at KREP in Belleville to my left. It's been all Division II East, 42-0 here in this ball game, and we've got a few records that are going to be possibly broken here in this one. Dustin Rottinghouse and Gunnar Pleon hold the record for most touchdown passes in the 8-Man All-Star game. That's with 8. And right now, the quarterback for the East Squad, J.D. Tyson, according to us, is 6. Record 6. I said it wrong there. So, J.D. Tyson, if he gets another crack at it, might see a standing record broken here in 2025. Return will be taken. There's some space near side. Sneaks out of one tackle. Gets up. That's Lincoln Schaefer of Greeley County all the way past the 30, and they're going to start just short of midfield.
And Lincoln Schaefer living to fight another day there as he ducked under Dalton Garman coming in like a heat-seeking missile. Mm-hmm. Garman full head of speed, but Schaefer was close to losing his head there.
This 8-man Division II East squad, again, just out there like heat-seeking missiles. That's the best way I think you said it all day today. They have absolutely dominated this game from start to finish. Right now, I don't even know if the West has 2 first downs here in this contest. 2. Okay, so 2 first downs. They're looking for a third here. Swing pass. Now, a fumble, I believe. No, they're going to, figured they call that incomplete. It's going to be Hazen Rydquist who picks up the completion near side, but good defense on that near side, too. Gentry McGee, I think, is who popped that one out.
It was.
We're about to have another fumble for the West squad.
Max, as you're talking about the sandal up there, did you see the great Hambino for the Savannah Bananas?
No, I saw the Savannah Bananas, but they didn't have the great Hambino there. I was kind of disappointed.
No, they did.
They did?
Yep, he went 0 for 1 on the day.
Oh, did he?
Yep.
Well, that kind of happens every now and then. Yeah, that was a heck of a thing. Ever get a chance to go watch them go do that? Went down there a couple Saturdays ago. Enjoyed beautiful Kauffman Stadium.
Yeah, how was the honeymoon?
Honeymoon went really, really well. Of course, we had to wait until after football got done.
And then after basketball season?
Yeah. Drug on a little bit, but it was well worth a 2-week vacation there a couple weeks ago, and had to try and get all this wrapped around, and we did while we were gone. So I thank you and Bruce Dierking, Deb Sasser, Derek Nestor, and Katie Jeter for making everything work, along with Blake and Lydia Hausch.
So on that play,
they're 9.
Okay, yeah, no, sorry. Brain was turning around there for a second. But anyways, yeah, they were lucky to get 2 yards off of forward progress. Otherwise, that would have been a loss of about 8, as that's how far back the Gold team had driven them.
So almost a fumble on the first play, almost a loss on the second. Here's a floater near side. First down completion will get it by about a yard as quarterback Lucas Kirk found his receiver out of the backfield, Lincoln Schaefer, for that first down completion. Going under a minute 50 here in this third quarter. It's been all D2 East squad leading 42-0. We've got more All-Star game action coming up later this afternoon over on KREP in Belleville and KDNS in Glen Elder. We're going to have the Division II game on that one, so swing on over either to KR92country.com for the stream.
Yep.
And also sunflowerstateradio.com if you want to listen to that one coming up here in just a couple hours. As we do hit the top of the hour, too, do want to mention that this is the 8-Man All-Star Radio Network on KNDY-FM in Marysville, KREP-FM in Belleville, and KDNS-FM Cawker City, Glen Elder, and Beloit.
Yeah, right here at high noon. And swing pass for the green.
Positive yardage picked up by the green, and some positive claps coming as Rylan Koyman, Central Christian, his first completion or catch, I think, here today.
Yes. Also, though, Max, as you were talking earlier about first downs, just the 4th first down for the green team on the morning.
Yeah, defense has been the absolute key for the east side here, closing down this west side. As kind of the same thing happened in the state football playoffs. We mentioned a little bit earlier how dominant east side of the state was this year. Here's going to be a second down and medium, back to pass near side. That's going to be incomplete. Good defense there coming out from the safety position, Dalton Garman of Osborne, knocking that pass down, intended for Kyler Murray.
And again, just the fact that Dalton is able to be out there and move this good, I could not be happier. Again, a first-team district secondary member. Unfortunately, the Northern Plains League, I've never really gotten a good reason why they stopped doing all-league. Just, I think one excuse was that just because everybody plays in different districts, let's not bother with it. But that seems a pretty poor excuse to me.
Here's a floater on a third down and medium, incomplete pass will bring up fourth down and medium. Yeah, not every team or every conference throughout the state does all leagues. It is kind of nice, though, to get recognized and see all these players come together and what honors they've accumulated in their senior season.
Yeah, well, then 11-man, it's a lot more rare compared to the 8-man level, but some choosing to have all district teams and very sore subject for me because the couple of years that Republic County was good, then we stopped doing district teams.
Oh, really?
Yep.
They just knew, unfortunately, on your standpoint, that was going to be a year for you. So they're like, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah, we had too many Buffaloes that would be first-team members, so we just had to shut that one down and took what we could out of the NCAA that year.
You got to find a way around it sometimes in this life. Fourth down and medium now, 4th down and 5, just inside of midfield for the West squad. They're looking for a first down. Here's a little end-around, little trickeration, but Trent Harden is there in the backfield to slow progress, and then coming up for the tackle is Rylan Bussing. So an all-TVL stop of loss of probably a good 10 yards on that 4th down play will be a turnover on downs for the West squad.
And Max on the carry there, that was number 20?
Yes. William Cook of Buckland was the one, unfortunately, that took that loss on the end around. So now here we go. Score 42-0 in favor of the East, and they have the ball right at midfield. And now for the Gold, going to be J.D. Tyson, I believe, right back out there at quarterback. Yes, it will be. He's in the shotgun formation alone. 2 receivers right, Dane Winters to his left. 44 seconds here. It's going to be a handoff. Wisen now pulled by Tyson. Tyson up the middle, has some room, tries to find the edge. Across the 20, down to the 15 inside. Stiff arm. 10, still driving down to the 5 for J.D. Tyson. A 35-yard run will put the East well inside a scoring position for this 8-man Division II All-Star contest.
Well, I was going to say J.D. go down, but then he just kept going and stiff-armed a kid, then ran through another one, and they finally bring him down just outside of the 5-yard line. So hopefully here, because, at this point you're leading by so much, yeah, you could pull the QB to make sure that keep the record intact, but
Do you think
let him get set.
Do you think they're going to break the record here, passing play?
I hope so.
I think so. They better do it right here. 6 seconds, 5 seconds. Let's see if they get the playoff. They do. Tyson rolling left, looking across his body. He's going to sneak out of a sack, still on his feet, steps up across his body, picked incomplete.
Pinball.
That was a pinball pass. J.D. Tyson rolling to his left-handed quarterback across his body will be an incompletion as that ends our third quarter. It's been all 8-man Division II East here in this one, leading 42-0. We'll take a 60-second break here at the end of the quarter. You're listening to the 8-man All-Star Radio Network.
When it comes to your health, you deserve the best. At Hanover Hospital, they are more than just a healthcare facility. They are your friends and neighbors right here in your community. Their commitment to high-quality, family-friendly care means when you're at Hanover Hospital, you're with family. They offer state-of-the-art healthcare services with certified professionals on staff 24/7, 365 days a year. Hanover Hospital, your community, your health. Visit them today for close-to-home quality healthcare.
Warm up to spring savings on a Workmaster or Boomer compact tractor from CanEquip. Choose 0% financing for 84 months on any of New Holland's 9 compact models. Enjoy the hard-working value and fuel-efficient power of these versatile compact tractors. See CanEquip in Marysville to take advantage of these offers, which end June 30th.
For commercial use only, customer participation subject to credit qualification and CNH Industrial Capital America LLC approval. Standard terms, conditions, and other restrictions apply. Down payment may be required.
Yeah, I guess we should probably try to get him.
Making our plans here for Division I already, as Division II has kind of turned into a walker. I don't know if that's the right word I'm using right now, but it's been all East squad here today.
Well, it's been all J.D. Tyson as he is 5 yards away and a throw from breaking the 8-man All-Star game record, as he's currently got 6 touchdowns on the afternoon, 272 yards through the air, averaging 12.4 a completion. As far as rushing yardage is concerned, that big 35-yard rip from J.D. after the busted play up the middle that he just took off on, he's now 5 yards behind Lane Loizo in rushing totals.
Been a heck of a backfield here today for this East squad. Here's Tyson alone in the backfield. He looks left, now rolls that way, throws in the flat, incomplete as he was looking for his favorite man, Dane Winters.
And I was going to be bragging about J.D., but 3 touchdowns out of his last 4 passes before he got this down to the 5 now back-to-back incompletions.
Yeah. It's been very excellent and been very, excellent's not even the right word I'm looking for here. I mean, efficient. Maybe that's the word I'm looking for here in this 8-man All-Star game.
Well, he was efficient on the season, 76% for his senior season, 41 touchdowns on the senior year, 69 touchdowns total through the air, and just, it was either 1 interception for his senior year or 4 total, because 3 of them definitely came against Frankfort in the section.
In the sectional round there. Here's a flip out left side to Winters. He's going to be stopped, got to gain a yardage inside the 5, but now a 4th down and goal to go from the 4-yard line for this East squad. I mentioned it, Burlingame ran into Frankfort in that regional round. It was Frankfort coming away with the win, and an exciting one, too, just to say the least. Frankfort comes away with the victory. Had it here.
By 8.
By 8, yeah. 46-38 was that final score. Who else but Ty Smith with the Frankfort Wildcats' final interception, I think, of that game. Closed the deal for Frankfort. Of course, went on to fall to Axel for the second straight year in Sub-State. We all know what Axel did after that win. 4th down and goal from the 4-yard line. East Squad looking to put another one on the board, leading 42-0 here in this fourth quarter, and one of the most, I think, dominating one-sided games that even the scorebook shows past couple years. It's going to be J.D. Tyson in the backfield. We've got a delay of game called by that backside official. Not one we see too terribly often in the high school ranks. But we're going to take the 5-yard walk back now to the 9 is where we're going to get this 4th down to come from.
So, brings him back 5. I don't know if it was intentional, but you give JD a little bit more space to work with, and he can still get the record here as long as somebody can find the ball.
It'd be Tyson alone in the gun formation. 2 receivers left, 1 here to the right. That's Winters. Shotgun look. Looking right. Looking to Winters. Cross the middle. Touchdown, East Squad. There is the record. J.D. Tyson's 7th touchdown pass here today in the 2025 8-man All-Star Game Division II contest as he finds his favorite targets.
Dane Winters, and who better to go to?
Exactly. Co-offensive players of the Lions League this year. Who else would have thought that it would have went from Tyson to Winters, as that is their, I believe, second hookup here today.
I've just got him with
one
first.
Okay, yeah, you're right. 33 and 32 are a little close in that one. Here's Tyson, option right side. Loiza's going to walk in for the easy 2-point conversion, and this contest is all East Squad, leading now 50-0 here in the fourth quarter. We'll take a 60-second break. You're listening to the 8-Man All-Star Radio Network.
Have you ever wondered what sets Sunflower Community Credit Union apart from the rest? It's the power of ownership. When you join Sunflower Community Credit Union, you're not just a customer. You're a member and an owner. Sunflower Community Credit Union is a member-owned, nonprofit financial institution that places our members' needs as our top priority. We're here to help you grow your savings, manage your finances, and achieve your dreams. Visit Sunflower Community Credit Union in Marysville, where ownership matters.
When starting any project around your home, you want prices that are reasonable and advice you can trust. From finding the right lighting fixture or plumbing piece to drawing up plans for a full remodel or new build, the knowledgeable staff at Hometown Lumber in Marysville and Axel Lumber are here for you. Stop in Monday through Saturday or visit axellumber.com to see what they can offer. With all your building needs and options to fix any budget, your partner from start to finish is Hometown Lumber in Marysville and Axel Lumber.
It's been all Division II East in this one, leading 50-0 here in the fourth quarter. Jesse, now we can finally explain what we couldn't talk about earlier.
Yeah, because as I said, there have been games in the past. They've gotten real close, 42, 43 points. There's been games where a team has started out with a 3-score lead in the first quarter. It's ended up being a game. But officially now, a 45-point rule coming into effect here in this 8-man Division II All-Star game, that instead of ending right now with 10:43 left in the ball game, we will just have a running clock, something that's, of course, everybody with 11-man football.
Very familiar. Well, it depends on who you are, but pretty familiar with.
And so with the exception of timeouts, injury timeouts, the clock will be going, so we will be done here before 12:30.
We'll be done here, just a little bit, as it's 12:12 right now from Beloit. Of course, coming up later this afternoon on KREP in Belleville and KDNS in Glen Elder, we'll have the 8-man Division I All-Star Game. That one's slated to start at 1:30, and I'm sure we'll be right on time with this one ending here pretty shortly.
So for this record-breaking performance, again, this is the largest margin of victory. First time ever that we've seen a 45-point rule in the 8-man All-Star Games, dating back in its 40-year history, as we're here today at the 40th edition of it. And couldn't come better between J.D. Tyson and Dane Winters, the cousin QB wide receiver duo that own just about every single passing and receiving record in Burlingame history.
Here's a double pass here. Wide receiver looking middle, incomplete. Almost picked off there as Dalton Garman, one of Sternad's favorite players here today, come up with the big pass deflection.
almost had it. Almost had it there. If he could have just... Yeah, if these kids... If everybody would be 6'4" like Rhett Katz.
Yeah. And you know what? We haven't seen him out there today, I don't think. I've kind of been surprised, honestly. The Logan Palco star, Rhett Katz, hasn't played too much here today. Of course, this is a runaway game. We mentioned it, running clock 50-0 right now. These games over the years have been very close, though. In Division II side, the East squad leads 13-10, all-time record, while in Division I game, it's the West squad leading 13-10. So if you do the math and you go back to 1995 when they officially split East and West, it is the East side leading 26 wins, while the West side has 25. So over the years, this has been very competitive on both sides. This game, though, not so much, I'd say.
Yeah, so this is kind of forever bragging rights, I guess, till the next time it happens for the East.
I was going to say, East coming off a loss last year, 28-14, and they're putting it to the West here in this one. 3rd down and 4 now for the West squad. Pressure from Hardin, plays a lick on the quarterback. This quarterback's going to stay down in the backfield. Trent Hardin gave him a spot. He stayed in to deliver the pass. Good completion here near side to Caleb Sparks of Logan, the 6'3", 190-pound defensive end, came up with the big catch. But again, just pressure from the defensive line for this East squad. Sparks was a first-team defensive back, and honorable mention state defensive back for Logan Palco as they go 8-2 in their year. Of course, there's been a lot of names out there today. Unfortunately, we didn't get to our first time doing this broadcast, so I'm sure we might be a little bit better next year, but big congratulations to every single one of these athletes that's able to make their name here. Trent Hardin just blows past the defensive end and lays Lucas Kirk on his backside for the second straight play, and that Frankfort Wildcat is not relinquishing any last second that he has a chance to play on this field.
No, he is not, and you know what? I'm sure Trent would have loved him playing in that state championship game, but as we saw Axel do to Wyatt Griffin in that state title game, Frankfort Wildcat getting his chance to give his licks here this afternoon.
You always got a chance to get in one last lick. Yeah, of course, a big group of the Axel Eagles finish undefeated in the season, headed by Brandon Schmelsley, the KU football commit, not here today, but I'm sure KU football staff probably pretty happy about that one. Here's a run up the middle.
He also does still have that Shrine Bowl to play in 2 weeks.
That is true, yeah. Shrine Bowl coming up in 2 weeks there for Brandon Schmelsley down in Poirier, right? Is where they hold that?
No, this year it's in Dodge.
It's in Dodge this year, okay.
So I'm glad that I've got another sport commitment that day, so I don't need to go out to watch Brandon and continue my tradition of Shrine Bowl Axel Eagle players. Because, yeah, Dodge, Emporia was okay last year, but Dodge, that's a whole nother monster, and I don't like tacos that much.
Dodge was a different animal. I had a chance to bump into you out there with state volleyball, and, yeah, it's a good time out there, but I think one trip a year is enough to go to Dodge. 3rd down play now and 10 in the middle. It's a draw. Defensive line of the East eat it up. Trent Hardin in there. Braden Lawson. Stop me if you've heard these names before. It's all East side now with a 4th down and 12 for the West on their side of the field.
So it's 2 sacks on the day for Braden Lawson, 3 tackles for loss, 2 QB hurries. And again, if that kid is playing quarterback for Highland, I would be shocked, but they are getting a very, very good defensive lineman. One thing, though, his coach saying about him, violent. And we are seeing that here today. Some very, very strong hands, a great first step. And again, the green team there up front for him just does not have an answer.
And there's what? I don't know. You walk through that one.
Well, you had Wyatt Griffin throw the ball. He kind of bounces it off the shoulder pads of Braden Lawson and then catches it again, all in the span of about half a second, and then he gets smoked on the play. And
it's all on 4th down, so now turnover on downs.
Yeah, and then Lawson falls on the ball, or not Lawson, Griffin falls on the ball back at the 15. So the scoring here just getting even worse for the gold team, or for the green team, depending on your point of view and how you want to say it, but J.D. Tyson still at QB.
Tyson back there in shotgun formation is going to be an option near side.
And this is Miles Rickard, takes it, puts a hand down, able to scamper for another 5 yards before he's dropped down on by William Cook from oh, darn. Well, so much for all the extra effort there by Miles.
Well, we're going to get him one of them. It's going to be a holding call on Miles Rickard's second running attempt here of the day. Give him 2, but we'll have to pull that one back. Before I forget, too, a name that gets mentioned over here at the All-Star Games a lot, Steve Schrader, Frankfort Wildcat, their big name over that community. Of course, being athletic trainer again for this 8-man All-Star Game like he's done plenty of years in the past. Seen him out there working today, getting all these kids ready to go. No injuries so far here in this D2 game. Let's hope for the same coming up in D1, but a big shout-out to Steve. Here's Tyson looking across the middle. End zone caught. Touchdown.
And is that Andy Cooper? No, that is number 15, Landon Sump.
Landon Sump coming up with the big touchdown here. His first catch of the day goes in for 6 as the East continue to pour it on.
So now a good time to brag about Landon after that 15-yard touchdown catch. Landon, again, had to deal with his knee injury, or ACL injury.
ACL, yep.
ACL injury. But, again, some of these schools not experiencing the most success with a state title to end their season, to end their careers. But Landon, just getting Blue Valley to the playoffs. Back-to-back times, the first time since 2006 to end his career. And that is Miles Rickard, end over end, as he takes 3 West squad members with him over the goal line. And Rickard will finally get a run here that nobody held.
Finally gets the 2-point conversion. It goes up on the board. It's 58-0, all 8-man Division II East All-Stars. We'll take a 60-second break. You're listening to the 8-Man All-Star Radio Network.
Tired of worrying about your fuel deliveries? At Kermer Oil, we understand that when you need it, you really need it. Since 1976, we've been the region's trusted fuel provider. We've built our reputation on dependable service, ensuring your bulk fuel, propane, and oil arrive exactly when you expect them. You can count on Kermer Oil for on-time delivery and a fair price every time. We're part of your community. Give us a call today or visit us at KermerOil.com. Kermer Oil, your reliable fuel partner.
Just like our area athletes work each day in practice to perform at their best in the big game, the staff at Bruna Implement Company, your local Case IH dealer, work daily to provide the best parts and service experience when you need it most. Bruna Implement Company has been family-owned for 3 generations. We know what it takes to be successful as your area Case IH dealer. For the best in farming equipment with the service to back it, there is only one. Bruna Implement Company, since 1947.
8-man Division II East All-Stars putting it on the West squad. 58-0 here, 3:20 left in this ball game. Kickoff will be taken right at the goal line, stopped just outside the 25. I mentioned it a little bit beforehand. Landon Sump, Blue Valley Ram, lone Ram selection here this year. First Ram selection, I think, in quite a few years under head coach Quentin Cravens. Landon has been a big part of that Blue Valley squad the last couple of years, like Jesse alluded to it. Back-to-back playoff appearances last 2 years, first time since 2008, coming off an ACL tear 2 years ago. And he ended up this season with 14 catches, 289, and 6 touchdowns. Gets me 6 touchdowns on 14 catches. Pretty darn good for the 6'2 senior.
Yes, it was. As far as total yardage for this game is concerned, 392 yards of total offense for the Gold Squad and 297 yards passing for J.D. Tyson. Unfortunately, no records as far as yards is concerned.
Nope.
But that's because he's got maybe one of the best defenses ever fielded in a All-Star game here today.
You aren't kidding. Of course, if you're just joining us, J.D. Tyson, the Burlingame set the All-Star game record with 7 touchdown passes here earlier today. That's a record that has stood since Dustin Rottinghouse tied it back in 2014. Tyson has found his favorite target, Dane Winters, once, Carter Olson twice, Lane Loizo once.
No.
Twice?
Carter 3 times.
Carter 3 times.
Lane just once.
Lane just once, okay.
And then Jaden Grenier with 2 targets in the end zone.
So many scores, can't keep a track. Here's a second down play for the West side. It's going to be a screen right side. Good defense. Hold in there, and it will be now a 3rd down and medium for the West squad.
Andy Cooper on the tackle for the Pike Valley Panthers. Again, an all-district safety for Pike Valley here. Their 4-5 season, which their year ended to the Hanover Wildcats in the opening round, and it's ended a lot of years to the Wildcats.
Wildcats, a big, strong program up there in the TVL for most couple of years. Of course, they're going to be right back in the conversation next year with Axtell and Frankfort. That's going to be a three-headed team to race as the season gets going. 60 seconds left here in this ballgame. Pass over the middle, incomplete on third down. We'll bring up a 4th and medium.
And Dalton Garman with his 4th pass deflection of the game.
So as we do kind of look into the 2025 football season, I know it's quite a ways away, Jesse, but real quickly, from your standpoint, who are you looking for in your area to kind of make a name or have a better year or exceed expectations?
Oh, well, if I'm going with anybody, I'm probably going to have to go with the Republic County Buffaloes, as last year came up short of being able to be able to host a first-round home playoff game. Haven't been able to do that since 1995 as far as the first-round game is concerned. And, well, no. I'm pretty sure, yeah.
It's been 40 years or so. 4th down play here, just a floater up the middle. It's going to be incomplete. And that's pretty much how this game is going to wind down. I didn't mean to cut you off there short, Jesse. You want to finish?
No, I'm just trying to think for the Buffaloes if 2016, if we hosted the first round or if Cedric was, we were on the road. So, yeah, haven't been able to host a first-round playoff game in quite some time. We were real close to it this year, just coming up against Sacred Heart. So with only losing a couple linemen, a couple of skill guys that were hurt off and on, allowing some younger guys to get some action, I'm confident the Buffaloes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and I think the district that they're in on that 11-man standpoint has some opportunities, I think.
Yes, it does.
To make some noise, too.
The district is not the best, and Buffaloes just might have a chance to finally do something, and we can reset talking about 1999, 2016, 2020, and we can talk about the 2005 squad.
It's something new in the record books. Well, this Division II game comes to kind of unceremoniously end on that incomplete pass. It's D2 East walloping the D2 West 58-0 in this contest. It'll be the second win in a row, but West won last year. So East picks up their 14th win over the West here in the 8-man Division II All-Star game from Trojan Field in Beloit. Again, your final score, East Squad 58, West Squad zilch. We're going to take a quick 2-minute time out. When we come back, we'll wrap up this with post-game thoughts and stats. Again, we'll take a 2-minute break. You're listening to the 8-Man All-Star Radio Network.
Hop in, let's go to Honeyman Ford in Seneca, the best place to be.
For top-notch service for your vehicle, look no further than Honeyman Auto Sales and Service right here in Marysville. Expert care and maintenance with fast turnaround time to ensure your vehicle runs smoothly and safely. Don't compromise on quality and get back on the road today. This is Ty Lumley with Honeyman Auto Sales and Service. You can find us on Facebook or stop by East Highway 36 in Marysville.
Have you driven a Honeyman Ford lately?
Flint Hills Mechanical is a call away for your plumbing work, heating, and air conditioning. Backed up or won't drain? Call Flint Hills Mechanical. New and existing plumbing work, plus heating and air conditioning, as well as custom sheet metal service. Call on Flint Hills Mechanical. Find them on Facebook or give them a shout at 785-313-0103. Flint Hills Mechanical, Frankfort.
Agriculture. Our country was built on it. Our children are fed by it. No one quite understands the unique needs of the farmer like United Bank and Trust. Whether you raise crops or livestock, you need the right equipment at the right time. Our ag loans can help you acquire and maintain that equipment when and where you need it. Contact one of our experienced ag lenders today. United Bank and Trust. Banking for your way of life. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Does your financial advisor take the time to really listen to you? And is your financial strategy personalized to you and your family? Hi, I'm Liz Warren, your Marysville Edward Jones financial advisor. When we work together, we'll use an established process to create a personalized financial strategy backed by the advice, tools, and resources to help you reach your goals. Contact me, Liz Warren, today at 785-562-5533. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
25 years of the best.
Well, that wraps it up from maybe the cheapest seats we got, maybe the best seats in the house. I don't know. We're always up at the top here, so however you want to say it, it works out. Division II 8-man All-Star game. It's the East squad running away with this one, 58-0 over the West squad. A far cry from last year's contest. It ended a lot closer, 28-14. Jesse, there's not a lot to really talk about in this game. I mean, there is, but I want you to get that defensive stat you just gave me for the D2 East side.
Well, first up, I'm going to say the best seat in the house because we're not in the sun and we're experiencing breeze.
Yeah, that is true. Okay.
Everybody outside? No. But as far as the defense is concerned, holding the Division II West squad to 77 total yards, but negative 16 yards rushing.
Yeah, and I'm speechless. I did the same thing when you did it.
Yeah, that's just insane. So as far as the defensive MVP goes, Braden Lawson, of course, leading the way there up front for Marmaton Valley in the D2 East squad. 3 sacks, 2 QB hurries, 2 tackles, 3 tackles for loss. Just an absolute monster up front. Then you got Eli Brocksterman from linebacker, but then the rest of that D-line, Rylan Bussing, Trent Harden, to represent the Twin Valley League, they just couldn't be stopped.
That defensive line today for the D2 East squad, you hit it on the mark. Braden Lawson, Trent Harden, and then where was he? We didn't mention a lot, but Timmy Roberts of Burlingame played that other defensive end opposite of Harden, and those three, I think, just controlled this game from start to finish.
Yeah, there was never an answer. Again, they only had 5 first downs on the entire game, and I could be being generous with the fifth one there.
Yeah.
But only made it into opposing territory twice?
Twice, I think. Once was a penalty, but yeah, got over there twice anyway at the end of the day. As we shift our attention to the offensive side, I think me and Jesse were both talking. I think it's going to be, or it has to be, J.D. Tyson of Burlingame, the quarterback, throwing for a 8-man Division II All-Star game record. 7 touchdowns in this one. 8 touchdowns. 8. Oh, yeah, you have the late one there. 8 touchdowns in this game for the senior from Burlingame. Played an exceptional quarterback role here.
Yeah, only 270 yards passing. That's away from the record, but again, they didn't have that good of a defense to work with. And when you've got 4 or 5 drives that started inside the 30, yeah, racking up yards is going to be pretty hard.
Yeah, racking up touchdowns will be easy. Yards will be hard. And real quickly, I want to mention a few names, and correct me if we're wrong, but Lane Loiza, the Frankfort Wildcats, he gets into the end zone once. Landon Sump, the Blue Valley Rams, he gets into the end zone once. And Carter Olson of the Frankfort Wildcats gets in 3 times in this contest.
And Jaden Grenier from Marmaton Valley getting in there twice.
So a heck of a day for the Division II East squad. Jesse, I'll sign it off here, but one last thought from you, if any.
I told the boys before this game, my guys, that, well, you know, these Division II West guys could be ready to play with a chip on their shoulder, how the state title game went and how, you know, everybody around the entire state brags about the TVL, Axel this, Axel that. So be ready for that because they might be kind of mad with just how, well, the last 4 years have gone.
Oh, yeah.
And it just didn't matter. Everybody here from the east side showing up, showing out, and again, the first official 45-point blowout in 8-man All-Star game history in 40 years of it. And again, put 58 points up on the board and pitch a shutout. Not a whole lot more can be said.
And, of course, for those 3 Axel Eagles, Rylan Bussing, Dalton Hine, and Eli Brocksterman officially ending their high school career without a loss with this All-Star game win here today. I want to give big shout-outs real quick. Bruce Dierke back in the KNDY studios, Deb Sasser up at KR92, Lydia and Blake Houshall at KDNS, and, of course, Katie Jeter and Derek Nestor making everything online and Facebook work here this morning. Again, you can catch the Division I game coming up here with a start time pregame of 1 o'clock kickoff set for 1:30 over on KR92.com. Also available at sunflowerstateradio.com if you want to listen into that one. All of these broadcasts, too, will be available to listen back either at sunflowerstateradio.com or I think, if memory serves correct, the Kansas 8-Man Football Association will have their video up with our audio in just a couple days. Again, for Jesse Stern out of Belleville, to my left, this has been Max Blasky with KNDY in Marysville. We thank you all for listening in to the 8-Man Division II All-Star game. Don't go anywhere. Division I coming up later on this afternoon. Again, thank you all for tuning in. Signing off from Trojan Field in Beloit. We will see you when next All-Star game rolls around.